Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Rheem. We're at the MCG. Jack Heverin, Dale Thomas, Nathan Brown, and for the first time tonight, the Duke, Luke Darcy. Hello, Duke.
Jack, very excited to be sitting alongside you tonight and excited about this game. And I look out at the Cats, and we're just talking in the ad break there to Daisy, and you see names like Jack Bowes, who comes across from the Gold Coast Suns for a third-round pick. Daisy tells me they threw in a first-round draft pick for Jack Bowes. It's staggering. Tanner Bruin finds his way to the category. Ollie Henry's there from Geelong, who was a bit of the hero and the villain first up last week. So their ability to get more talent in and be that good for so long is just a remarkable achievement. I just don't quite understand how they do it.
Yeah, the rest of the football world looks on with envy, don't they? When you think about how hard everyone else has to work to recruit, and it seems like the Gold Coast Suns are giving players away and draft picks to a side that doesn't really need them, and they're still being able to recruit really well. It's a credit to the football club, the organisation, and what they've built down there.
Triple M footy prime time for Jim Beam. It's set to be an epic match, and that's worth raising a Jim Beam. Drink responsibly. For the first time this year, it's great to have the number one stats man in the business.
Jeez.
Season number 7,000.
Standing ovation for Chew.
For the two-man Ash Chewer. Hello, Chew.
Am I in the Triple M box here? Standing ovation. That's fantastic. No, feeling the love. Thanks, guys. Great to be here for round two, doing the Triple M Red Z lending stats once again. And
yes, please.
I'll peel off some for you, Jack. Here we go. So, Cats.
Started with a bang.
Well, here we go. No, I've got a gold stat coming up very shortly. I'm pumping it up.
So He's teasing his own stats.
Bit of craft from Chew.
We'll decide whether or not it's gold. Chew.
Yeah, spot on, does. Getting ahead of myself. So, look, firstly, Cats, a great record against the Blues. They've won 12 out of the past 14, but just a concern for Carlton. You look at their scoring capacity. We know they've got some firepower, but since round 18, they've only averaging 72 points per game, ranked 14th. And, of course, they only kicked 58 points last week against the Tigers, second equal lowest score of the round. And from their last 7 games, they've only won 1 game as well, the Blues, coupled with the draw from last round. But Brownie spoke about Lewis Young. Only played 24 games, as Stars would know, in his first 5 seasons at the Bulldogs, but since crossing to the Blues, he's played 20 out of a possible 23. But he's also taken the most number of intercept marks of any Carlton player, racked up 5 last week. Tommy Hawkins, past 4 matches against the Blues, he's only kicked 4 majors. Jacob Wiedering has done the job on him, and this is the supposedly gold stat. Only the second time in history, Daisy.
Yes.
We've got 4 Coleman medalists playing in the one game, which is happening this evening. Last time that happened was back in 1902, of course. Cameron, Hawkins, Charlie Curnow and Harry Mackay.
Who was it in 1902, Chew?
Come back to shortly. Rabs, can you help me out, mate?
What do you think? Was it a good start?
Sure, it's gold, Chew, but a healthy start from you. That's it. Is that the first standing ovation, Chew, you've had in 25 years?
Yes, that's why I was wondering as to whether I'm actually in the Triple M commentary box today.
I remember Spud used to threaten to throw you out of the window here quite regularly, Chew.
Yeah, he kept me honest, Spud, that's for sure, and pretty and sharp at the best of times.
Let's get down to the boundary for Bob Jane T-Marts. They've great bites for you. Get 1 free deals plus instant cash back. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Nat Unides, good evening.
Gents, absolutely cracking conditions down here, boundary side. A lot different to the heat wave that we had last Thursday, so going to be a lot more comfortable for the players. There's blue skies, although we did have a bit of rain about in Melbourne today. We've just had the toss. Patrick Cripps has won that. The Blues are going to be kicking to the punt road end. Oh. Late change for Carlton tonight. Jack Martin's out with a calf injury. Mark Pitnet comes into the side, so another tall for them. And the subs for Carlton, Lockie O'Brien, who was the sub last week. And for Geelong, it's going to be Cooper White. He's going to be making his AFL debut, which Chris Scott did mention yesterday. So we've known for about 24 hours, but good luck to the young man tonight.
Nicely done, Nat. You can now stream every game of Triple M Footy live on the Listener app. Download it now. Boys, who's winning and why?
I'm going to be tipping the Cats in this one. I just think they're going to roll too deep through that midfield, spend too much time in their own forward half, and the forward power and the firepower down there will be too good for the Blues, who were under siege last week. Good enough to hold up on that occasion. I think this is another cog up against the Cats.
I just think it's the perfect time to get the Cats for the Blues, and if they're going to make a statement, it has to be tonight. I think they've got the small players to do it. They've got the forward half to do it. Key players for the Cats being out. Blues by a whisker.
I think the Cats tonight will bounce back. Super talented side. We know they only lost 4 games last year. Here we are, Triple MCG, Thursday night, round 2 for McDonald's and Rheem Hot Water. Jack Heverin alongside me, Nate Brown, Daisy Thomas, the Triple MC Bus Super Specials. And we're underway on a Thursday night. Blitzarves gets the first clean possession. Doherty handballs it back. Cripps picked it up beautifully. Sard automatically thought about taking a bounce, but he was getting tackled as that thought entered his mind. The kick ended up with Buse, the pole vaulter from half back, out in the direction of Cameron. Can he keep it in? Shane Warne stands side of the MCG. Can't. About 60 around from the Cats' goal. That's towards the city end of the MCG. We're going to have a boundary throw-in.
Tom, Mark, hold the meter.
So 30 seconds played. Good crowd starting to build. Always on a Thursday, a little late to come in. So everyone finishes up the day at work. Doherty off the ball, couldn't pick it up. There's Cripps at half-back. Clever handball, flipped it over his shoulder. Carlton forced it up to the wing, but there's De Koning. Links up with Buse, and they always seem to have that extra number at the contest. Kick goes into the forward pocket. Newman came across, dropped that mark, got it back from Wiedering. Kicked on the right foot, didn't clear the area, and the Cats will reload.
Zach Guthrie, much improved player. Until he kicked the first 2 goals last week for the Cats. He's thought about lining it up from about 60 metres. Kick smothered, and now here go the Blues. They're out the back. Corey Durden's a chance. Back into the side for the Blues. Beautiful little kick to Motlop. Charlie Curnow over the top. Motlop's going to pull the trigger. Charlie wants it in the goal square. Kick going to Curnow. Beautifully done, Motlop. He had to kick it pretty well in the end. He summed it up nicely, and a certain goal coming up for the Blues.
How good was the pressure at half-back? They held up Zach Tui. Didn't they get the smother? But the big factor in that was Corey Durden. I'll let you call the goal, Duke.
Coleman medal winner. What a fortune out there this afternoon, this evening. What a superstar Charlie Curnow is. 3 goals last week, 64 last year. And Charlie Curnow, the first to Thursday night footy. We're underway, round 2. And that is the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The Blues strike first, 1 straight 6. The Cats yet to score.
You often see early in games how excited players get when there's a fast break and they've got the whole field in front of them, but there's no one in forward 50. So Corey Durden had to work his way through that. Didn't play last week, so this is the first touch of the ball in 2023 for that young man. He gets it about 65 out, and there's players streaming everywhere. He kept his head, he slowed it down, he chipped the ball over, which was brilliant, and then after that, Motlop kick was fantastic, but well done to Durden for keeping his head.
Seeing on the Harvey Norman replay, it started with the smother at half-back. And as you said, Brownie, great composure from Motlop. The Blues draw first blood on Thursday night footy for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. That's an absolute shocker from the umpire. Not quite the fresh airy of last week, but
One of the stranger things I've seen, Jack.
it's totally bizarre. So they throw it up this time around.
These things happen.
We all get them wrong. Dangerfield. Nice clearance now. Holmes off the wing. Left his man for dead. Going to get it back about 40 metres out. Got it on the left foot. Into the pocket. Ball bounces in front of Hawkins. Sard comes across and try to clear the area. It's quiet now. Isaac Smith gathers. 55 out from goal. Hot handball to close. He was tackled as soon as he got it, and the Blues look sharp early, Dust.
Shearer's coughed it up though, Jack. It's going to come back off the boot of Bowes. That's his first kick in the famous hoops of Geelong. And he has found Tyson Stengel. It's in pretty good hands here, Daisy. Left forward pocket, the right foot Stevie J style snap in his wheelhouse, I would have thought, Daisy.
Yeah, he really will take a couple of steps and launch the big banana from here, you'd imagine.
One of the great stories season 2022 is Tyson Stengel, an All-Australian, 50-plus goals. On that occasion, he's just dragged it to the near side. First score for all the Cats is a behind. 1 straight 6 of the Blues. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting tradies. Over 120 stores. Wide range of lighting and electrical products. And expert trade teams who offer the best services, making every tradie's job easier.
McGovern gets it back off the kick in. Now Silvani in game 101. Had it, lost it. McGovern followed up, did okay, and jammed it on the boot quickly to the wing. Motlop started well. His kick short of the intended target. Curnow, and Tui gets in the hole and takes a good grab.
Like the intent from Carlton early, though, they want then to go up the corridor and get some speed in the ball. An overlap handball means that they're not defending in their back 50. Although they're giving it back to the Cats, they've now got the ground set on defence.
Isaac Smith at left half back. Didn't have a lot to work with ahead, so had to kick to a 50-50. Young came across and fisted it away. Quick chain of handballs. Curnow, that was Ed Curnow's kick smothered. Went through the legs of Cripps. There's Bowes. His first game as a Cat. And again, to this wing position, Young left his man for the second time, did okay. Hollands was bumped as he kicked. And that'll come back. It'll be a Blues free kick underneath the Shane Warne stand there, 1 straight 6. The Cats one behind.
Doing well at the moment, the Blues, so they set up the field really well behind the footy on that occasion. They had at least 18 players, probably 6 of them all in rows of threes, and they were just able to get the ball back.
Pretty impressive on debut, Ollie Hollins in round 1. That's a timely smother off the boot of Chera. Gary Rowan now at the back for the Cats, open goal square, pulls the trigger, connected with it beautifully. Can it slide through? 65-metre bomb from Rowan. Read the play perfectly. And that's not a dissimilar avenue to goal that we saw the Blues score their first, with Gary Rowan gets his first goal of the evening. The Cats 1-1-7, the Blues 1 straight 6 on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, up until the smother, it was a really nice passage of play from the Blues. They changed an angle, they got it in through the corridor, they had men out on the open side. A really good smother it was through the middle there. Close, I think it was. We'll get a look at it on the Harvey Norman. But again, good composure. Rowan looked up. He could have had the wheels to burn off Chera. Backed himself to bomb it from 65, and Smart's a little bit dewy out there. A nice skidding ball through. Summed it up pretty well and finished absolutely brilliantly.
I must admit, when he kicked it, I thought he'd gone early. He had the space in front of him, but he got the nice slider.
Just a concern for the Blues. The inside 50 is already 6-1 Geelong's way. Of course, they lost that stat, as you mentioned, Daisy, by 21 last week.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Koning took it out of the ruck, but his kick was to no avail in the end. Here's Stanley. Inside the centre square at the MCG, looks to half forward. Cameron work to the front spot and is within range. Man on the mark, 51 metres out. Distance should not trouble him whatsoever.
No, he's an elite kick from this area of the ground. This is just about the A1 spot for Jeremy Cameron, just on the point of the square. He'll kick it from 55 and he makes good contact.
Shared last year's best and fairest in a premiership year with Cam Guthrie. From a long way out goes whack. Cats get 2 in a row. They're 2-1-13. The Blues 1 straight 6. 7 minutes gone. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So they started well, the Blues, and now the Cats kick the last 2. But I want to go back to the centre bounce, Daisy. So De Koning grabs it out of the ruck and a hurried rush kick. So most of the kicks that do come out of the middle from a centre bounce are going to be hurried rush kicks. Fisher starting behind his opponent, O'Connor. He gave him 5 metres. As a half forward, as a smaller player, you have to be starting in front. There's no excuse for starting behind your opponent. The only place that's going to drop, it's going to drop short. If it goes over your head, you go bad luck. At least I was in front. Fisher let himself down by starting from behind. Otherwise, he would have been coming up at that football, taking it like O'Connor did, and would have been able to hand it off to the runner. I'd get the runner out to him right now and go, mate, you need to be in front every time.
Nate Brown, Daisy Thomas, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Thursday night, round 2, MCG. Tom De Koning thought he was good last week. Up against Nan Curvis, young Blues ruckman. Here go Carlton, free kick. It's brother Sam who's given that away. And Mackay got the big frame in front. That 35 out directly in front, punt road end. Chance for the Blues second.
And that's the difference the 4 umpires have made up there. So the resting umpire out of play in the forward pocket has played that from 40 metres off. Just an arm around, an errant arm on the Harvey Norman replay, but that's enough. That's a cue for the umpires to pay it.
Seemed to be a huge amount in that, Daisy. Free kick, a little bit of a gift here for Harry Mackay. Directly in front, started at left, stayed there. Disappointing miss. So it's 1-1-7 Carlton, 2-1-13 Geelong on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
What are you seeing early, Brownie?
Well, I'm seeing both sides being very open at the moment. A couple of mistakes by the Blues have allowed the Cats in, but their defensive part of their game and their full ground press has been quite good.
Radikalia marked and then looked for a short kick over the top to Holmes, who was only 15 metres away. And he's put it out of bounds, so Carlton get the ball back. Out of sight at the MCG. Here's Chera. Has to stop and wait. There's cut this Geelong system defensively, even though they're missing a few soldiers.
It was a dangerous handball, but I reckon he needed to get that to Saad. Saad was running off Tom Hawkins, so if the handball had hit the target, there's no way Hawkins is going to run down Saad.
Curnow, he's done to the football by Radikalia. He couldn't mark. Myers turned around and was gone. No time and space out there. And it'll be Owies from 65 metres out to send it deep for the Blues once again. Tall timber everywhere for them. It spills off the hands of De Koning. Ed Curnow locks it up. Nat Unides for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, the Cats have got a bit of a problem down here. Tui has just gone down the race for a head injury assessment, so he's being assessed for concussion. It was just that incident out on the wing probably about 3 minutes ago, so that rules him out for the next 15 minutes, so the rest of the quarter basically.
It was Charlie Curnow. We're just going to see the Harvey Norman replay come out, and Jack Tui went back, and Charlie Curnow's top of his shoulder got Zach Tui on the chin.
Picked up by Kennedy. He liked it off the boot out of the stoppage. Something from nothing for the Blues. It's been touched through for a minor score. Hunt Road End, 1-2-8 Carlton, 2-1-13 Geelong. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. And that we got a good look at that replay. I, wouldn't want to wander into that territory, but I think he looks in a bit of trouble, Zach, too. It's almost like the boxer that gets hit in the right spot on the jaw, Jack. So they'll take some time with that for Zach Tui.
Well, particularly at the moment, they don't take chances with that sort of stuff. He was so good, as you mentioned, at the start last week. This ball will come back to Henry. A bit more of a friendly crowd than this time last week for him.
Okay. Play on.
At half-back, plays the members' side. Sard waits down off the back. Clever tap on the Chera, who went underground. Umpire said play on. And Newman couldn't get onto his left foot, so dished a handball off to Pitnet. Tumbly ball up to the wing, and there's De Koning for the Cats. Links up with Atkins, had options in the corridor, instead decides to go longer. Rowan camped under it. Again, Lewis Young impacts the contest. Chera takes the contact.
There's one done by Lewis Young.
Free kick.
Had to come off his man. He had to get 20 metres to get there, and he was able to impact the contest.
Sideways kick, had a little bit of anxiety about it. Wiedering slid in and took the mark. Still deep in defence. The Blues spearing kick was just a bullet. Mackay's pushed up nicely.
This is where I'd like Carlton to be a little bit more adventurous with the footy from half back. Take the game on a little bit more. It was a great kick by Wiedering, but now this is the important one, and he goes to the boundary, which is disappointing.
Yeah, that's not the option. So that means now the Cats can pin you in. Unless you're able to get a 100-metre switch across the ground, which they won't be able to, they'll be kicking it long down the line to the Geelong extras.
As Daisy and Nate explained perfectly, that's the only option Lewis Young had, that high kick down the line. And here the Cats are queued up to get it back on the turnover. Jeremy Cameron, classy little chip kick to Isaac Smith. Forward handball into the hand of Buse. Defensive mark Wiedering, who Two-Man told us has got a really nice record on Tom Hawkins, and that was a good defensive mark.
It kept him to 4 majors from his past 4 games, has Wiedering.
He's a human caravan.
Exactly, spot on.
Where'd you get that from, Brownie?
Oh,
you use that expression a bit. I'm just always fascinated by where you stole that from.
Trademark it.
He's in trouble here, Jacob Wiedering. Harvey Norman replay, Jack. Have a look at this. Tom Hawkins has given him...
Finger to the eye, it looks like.
They're not fun, Daisy, those ones.
No, make it hard to see from here.
So he's headed to the bench.
It's quite good.
Thank you.
He'll be back.
He will be back.
Nat Unides for Bob Jane T-Marts. He's headed your way.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a little bit of blood coming out of the nose, so he's just going to get patched up, and no doubt he'll be out there shortly.
And Newman from the back pocket. The kick hung in the air for a while, long enough for Jeremy Cameron to come across and knock it out of bounds, 60 metres out from the Cats' goal. They're 2-1-13. The Blues 1-2-8 Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, a wide range of lighting and electrical products. They make every tradie's job easier.
So the Blues will have to reshuffle. They wouldn't have had time to get the runner out, so they'll have to reshuffle and get players on Tom Hawkins, who Wiedering was on, and Lewis Young's gone back there.
Socket off the ground, Isaac Smith into the forward 50 for the Blues. It's ricocheted back into the centre. Zach Guthrie came out, got around Durden, won it back to Graham Myers. Dangerfield demanding the footy. Myers said, nah, I'm going to go on my own. Looking for Ollie Henry. Back there is Ed Curnow. Doherty immediately tackled. Didn't have prior opportunity, so it's almost back where it started. 65 out on the Shane Warnstand side. City end of the MCG. The Cats have got a 5-point buffer at the moment, about the halfway mark of this first term on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Dangerfield tried to bust through. Goes for a second time, and for the second time tackled as soon as he took possession. Risky by Carlton off half-back, but it comes off, and again they play the outer side. Curnow couldn't get a clean run at it. Ratugolea in his new role as a defender belts that one out of bounds.
So as part of that shuffle you were talking about there, Brownie, Newman has now gone back to Cameron, which is a clear mismatch. Of course, Jack, they weren't boos, they were moos. The Blues fans mooing for Cowan, if you can believe that.
What? I actually can't believe that.
Nor could I when I was in form last week.
Righto.
Cowan.
Well, I get it, but his name's not Cow.
Yep, to each their own, I suppose. It's out of bounds again. This time, just forward of centre. Out of sight underneath the Shane Warne stand. And it's the Cats 2-1, the Blues 1-2. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. 15 and a half minutes gone in this opening quarter.
Pitternet, the late in. Jack Martin was laid out for Carlton. A really impressive second game of Hollands. Had it stripped out of his hand. Dangerfield involved in that. Good tackle on Cam Guthrie. Ed Curnow nailed him. Back to Hollands, who works really hard in the contest. All happening slightly forward to centre on the wing for the Blues. Back to Isaac Smith now. Danger. What's Danger at, please, two man?
6 touches.
Oh, McGovern dropped an absolute sitter. Opens the door for Jeremy Cameron. That's not ideal. He puts it in the path of Hawkins. Just drifted wide and late and out of bounds on the full. And Lewis Young will take the kick about 30 metres out from his own goal.
Some of the other major ball winners, too. Red Z Lending.
And for the Blues, 6 to Chera, 5 to Hollands. And for the Cats, Isaac Smith with 6 as well.
That's the kick. That's a good kick to centre half back.
And it opens up the corridor for Saad, who kicks a grubber on the bounce. Did Curnow no favours, but he follows up now. McGovern through the centre square has Silvani. 55 metres out from goal. Had a couple to choose from and made the right one. Picks out the Coleman medalist. And Curnow will line up for his second. 45 out, 45-degree angle.
Well, I reckon you could nearly hear Michael Voss's words in Nick Newman's ears then. He looked to the boundary, was about to pull the trigger, and then he said, no, I'll assess the field one more time, see if anything's opened up. Thankfully for him, it was Saad through the middle. It was a brilliant kick, fortuitously after Saad's play on, he got it back, but really loved the decision from Newman off half-back.
This to grab the lead back for the Blues. It just fades late off to the left. For a minor score, they're 1-3. The Cats are 2-1, all out on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Jack Bowes on debut for the Cats, taking fullback kicking duties, shapes towards the MCC members' side, goes long and high. McGovern with the fist, Chera with possession. Akers slightly slipped as he was gaining possession. That didn't help his ability to retain it. Stengel gets it back the other way. Doherty back with the flight. The presence of Hawkins was large. Good tackle. Wrapped up. It was Wiedering again. The centering kick was set Kennedy a task though. Centre half forward. He outplayed Isaac Smith. Matty Kennedy. Isaac Smith got him back. Came back. Dispossessed him. Well played. He's on fire at the moment, Isaac Smith. Kick from Cameron. Wanted Hawkins, and Wiedering just looks very comfortable back there.
He does. I tell you what, Geelong's sticking their tackles. So Carlton are trying to do everything to get the ball running at the moment. Geelong not missing a tackle. Every time they try to close them down, they get the job done.
Cripps had to dive down low and mark inside Carlton's defensive 50. Now looks out wide, Silvani.
A lot of players slipping over so far, Daisy.
Yeah, there certainly are. There was questions last week about the turf, and it's not so much the bit they've done. It seems to be the old turf, which makes it interesting.
That was the discussion from the players, is why not just do the whole thing rather than bits and pieces. Cowan to the moos of the Carlton fans. Has Akers. 52 metres out from goal. Turns and kicks to the punt right end. Curnow off hands. O'Connor happy to escort that through. That's 4 behinds in a row for the Blues. They're attacking, but they're not getting bang for buck. They trail by 3 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Thought Akers might have had a crack at that. He's a whopping kick of the football. He just eased it into the top of the goal square with a chip kick, so he should have had a shot.
So in the hands of Jack Bowes again. Traded from the Gold Coast Sun to the Cats. He comes back out this commentary side of the MCG. McGovern flew high. This is Akers again to Paddy Cripps, who really took the game apart in the last quarter. Cowan took on Dangerfield, did pretty well to get the handball away. Ollie Henry, touch overzealous in that tackle. Free kick for the Blues. And they've got a bit of time in forward half here, Carlton. Akers releases it to McGovern. High, up and under kick. Curnow, Radigalia edged him underneath it. trying to crash his way through. Down there was Corey Durden. Kick from the Geelong defenders, gets out of defensive 50. Newman taken high. He's going to ricochet it straight back in. Nick Newman, touch play on. Stanley thinks he's taken the mark. Didn't hear the umpire. They've got enough composure to get it to O'Connor. He gets it down the line. Cameron drops one he should have taken off the shins of Doherty. Young back there for the Blues. Got some support. Shane stands side. Hollins is impressive. To Motlop on the left foot. Drives it down to half forward. To Koning and blitz halves. It's Tom from Carlton. Manages to turn it over. Thought a whistle had gone there. I'm not sure what Corey Durden was thinking. Put his hands up. And on the back of that, in fact, it was Owies. He just had a bit of a brain fade, Jack. I don't know what happened there.
There was no whistle. He just stopped. Everyone else kept going. Gee, it looks slippery out there, boys. With the footy and also the turf as well. There's a lot of drop marks in this first quarter. And that one off a couple of bites from Pitnet. Handball's off to Doherty.
Yep.
Clever kick to half forward has Kennedy. Just about to say, nice build-up here for the Blues, but Kennedy's kick was smothered. They try and force it back in. Akers' kick smothered. It ricochets into the pocket. Scrappy stuff here at the MCG. Stanley has De Koning. And play on. They get it out of the defensive area, the Cats, through Bowes. And now they'll take the advantage on the wing.
True, man. Do you keep Smothers?
Yeah, I'll draw that up for you shortly.
Well, we've had a lot in this first term. Good crowd in Thursday night at the MCG. 3-point lead to Geelong. 5 minutes remaining in the first term. Sard's got it at half back. Flicks it over the top to Newman. Now just a little bit more space opening up for the Blues. Sam Doherty.
They've had a wonderful 5 or 6 minutes, the Blues, but they haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard. They badly need a goal.
Young feigned the handball to Sard and then went down the line. Dangerfield, an aggressive spoil. Overlap run provided by Doherty. Sam De Koning in front of Mackay. Read it beautifully off the boot. And the young star defender takes the intercept mark for Geelong.
The forwards were too deep there, so Doherty got the ball on centre wing. Both Mackay and Kerno were all the way back in the goal square. It was going to be a 70 or 80 metre kick, so it was just easy for them to get in the spot.
Gee, not a good kick coming out of defence. Newman on the turnover. Drives into the pocket. Mackay underneath. He couldn't mark. Motlop, front and centre, tackled. De Koning got him illegally.
Oh, that was a late call.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay will tell the story.
Jesse.
Non-controlling, I think it boys. It came from about 40 metres away to pay it.
From the naked eye, it looked like a good tackle.
See the De Koning brothers having a little crack. Tom came in and bowled over the older brother.
And Motlop will kick on his left foot. In fact, he'll kick the banana from 15 out. Blues fans love it. They've peppered and peppered and peppered for the best part of 10 minutes. And they finally get the goal they've been searching for. They lead 2-4-16. The Cats 2-1-13. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
You summed it up beautifully, Nath. They needed some reward for effort. They've had a lot of the play. They've controlled the game with their uncontested mark. We can see the stark differences in the ball movement. Harvey Norman replay there. Almost gave himself up, did Sam De Koning there. It was a brilliant tackle. It was ball, man and all. But he just stayed off him, and then the uncontrolling umpire came in and paid the free kick. Really good signs for the Blues, though. Getting the ball in long and deep, and the Smalls are getting to work.
Just a couple of red Zs. So the Smothers stat stars, we usually average 9 per game. We've hit 5 already, nearing quarter time. But just with the Blues' pressure in the front half, last week they went at 158. The AFL average is 172. They're going at 209 in this term.
Let's get to Nat for Bob Jane T-Mart.
Dewey has just come back out of the rooms. Looks like he's preparing to come back on, so we can only assume that he has passed his concussion test. Still has to wait a couple of minutes, though. You've got to serve the whole 15 minutes.
So that was Zach Tui, Nat, update there.
Zach Tui, that was
okay.
Zach Tui.
Thank you for that. That's good news for the Cats. Looked like a pretty reasonable hit that he copped to the head, so let's hope he's been given the all clear. Sock it off the ground. Cam Guthrie's put it out of bounds on the full, right in front of Nat Yanides. In there for Bob Jane T-Marts. Fisher gets it moving quickly. Felt like the last 10 minutes, Daisy, has been all Carlton.
Yeah, it certainly has been. The Blues have been really good, and I'm loving this patient ball use that they've got at the minute. Happy to take the game on and build it up by using their foot skills.
Chera sends them back inside 50. Mackay in the queue. Ed Kerno picked it up. Good tackle applied on him. Strong effort wrapped him up immediately. It might have been Isaac Smith that was, and it'll be thrown up 35 metres out directly in front of the Carlton goal. The punt road end, they lead it by 3 points on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
With the last 6 inside 50s, the Blues.
Thrown up. Stanley tries to smash it away. There's Saad. Bust through. Gave it to Fisher. Wants to get back onto his left foot. Kicks towards the goal square. Mackay almost. That's touched the behind post and it'll be thrown in right forward pocket. They've got the Cats right where they want them, the Blues.
Who's up?
They certainly do. One more before the quarter-time break would be nice. Just having a look out there, it looks like Blitzarves is going pretty much the whole way with Paddy Cripps. He's gone for separation here by nominating as the ruckman.
We'll get Cripps' numbers in a moment too. There he is in the ruck. Curnow, it's Ed Curnow, dispossessed. All in the forward pocket. Bruin takes it to the boundary line and over Red Z Lenders tube.
Yeah, equal leading ball winner on the ground. 10 disposals and a couple of clearances. Chera, he's racked up 10 as well.
Trying to make this forward 50 of the Blues really small. Pretty much every Geelong player, bar 4, are in this defensive 50.
Blues have had it 50% time in forward half. Durden came through, clean possession again. They're finding gaps, the Blues. Couldn't quite convert. Sam de Koning kicks it out in the direction of Tom. Fished it back towards Chera on the wing, picked up and tackled immediately by Jeremy Cameron on the AFL logo. Shane Warne stands side. It's going to be thrown up in that position. Blues by 3 points, 2 minutes 19 remaining in this first term. Thursday night footy for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy.
It was a beautiful night for footy too. Carlton doing all the attacking. That ricochets off the hands of Buse and out of bounds. Throw in 70 metres out from goal wall for Maccas. Head to Maccas for 10 chicken McBites for just $3. What a one-handed grab. 2-4 plays 2-1. Blues kicked the first goal of the game and have been doing a lot of the attacking since then. Isaac Smith at halfback, handballs to no one in particular. Hollands bumped off the ball by Stengel. Guthrie had it and lost it. It's a slippery ball for both teams to try and possess. Stengel, clever kick with the outside of the boot. Rowan dropped it. Ball ricochets off hands. Saad trying to kick it off to the ground to his advantage. Outside wing, paddled it, picked up by Holmes. Now Cameron under pressure. It's a hot footy out there. De Koning. Now Carlton gets some space. Lewis Young, left foot kick out wide's a clever one.
Well played, Lewis Young. Got 6 coaches' votes last week in round 1. He was outstanding versus the Tigers. Durden's been important. Nice little penetrating kick towards the goal square. It was a touch. Sam de Koning got a fingernail on it. It's going through otherwise. Saved the day. It's a 4-point lead now to Carlton. I feel like they have not quite taken advantage of their dominance. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Just over a minute remaining in this first term.
Stu, when was Geelong's last score in this first quarter?
Good question. Triple M Red Z. 7-minute mark by Jeremy Cameron, a major.
And we're at the 28 now. Henry flew from the back. By hands to Holmes, kicks the banana. And de Koning spills it. Now chance for Geelong to push forward. They had the overlap, but Doherty did well. Smothered the Tannenbrun handball. Links up with Saad, who punches it low to Curnow. Big fly, but couldn't hang on. Motlop forces his way through. Kept it moving to Owies. Now Chera, 45 out, kicks around the body. And misses.
He had Paddy Cripps on there. They played it really well, Carlton, but they've just got to have that steadying nature of the last possession or the last kick into the last handball. Just at the moment, they are playing helter-skelter, which is much different to last week. They've still got to be able to see the options right in front of them. Chera had Cripps on, needed to give it.
Genuinely torched the skipper, Paddy Cripps, the reigning Brownlow medalist. That was a give you had to give. As Nate Brown pointed out, Triple M Super special comments. Daisy Thomas back there, nice mark, Ollie Henry. Kick came up a little bit short. Hand on it initially, Doherty. Well played, Tom de Koning. Super impressive young ruckman, slapped forward by Doherty. One-on-one contests everywhere in front of the footy. Durden and Buse neither can get it out. And he's thrown in, Daisy.
Plus 40 uncontested possessions to lose.
Just that last contest from Charlie Curnow. Well done to Sam de Koning. Went back and got absolutely pulverised in the process.
Holmes picks it up inside 50. Hawkins have got a 2-in-1 to contend with. Wiedering, who's back there, and there is the quarter-time siren. Triple MCG. The famous Navy Blues have got a lead, 2-6-18 over the Cats, 2-1-13. 5 points at quarter time. Jack Everin doing a ripping job here on a Thursday night. Nath Brown, we've got Daisy Thomas, Nat Yanides, and great to have the Chew Man back. Year number 27, Chew?
22, Dust.
22. Feel like you've been here longer than that, Chew. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. It's the Blues by 5 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, a wide range of lighting and electrical products, and expert trade teams who offer the best services, making every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Head to Macca's for 10 chicken McBites for just $3. What a one-handed grab.
Shut up! The footy's on Triple M!
When you listen to Triple M Footy in 2023, it won't matter if your seat is in the car, on the couch, or in the stadium.
Get ready to erupt.
Because we'll bring you the moments that will get you out of it.
Magnificent kick from Conor McKinnon. Let him go, Cocky, goal to Melbourne. Join the Temper Mattress call team tomorrow from 6 for Brisbane and Melbourne.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's, Triple M rocks footy.
40 crispy chicken McNuggets are for friends. Together with tangy Cajun sauce, close friends only. Pick up juicy chicken and tangy Cajun at Macca's drive-thru today. Select items available for a limited time.
The Lowdown.
Around town.
Keanu Reeves is back to face powerful new enemies all across the globe in the ultimate action blockbuster John Wick Chapter 4. Don't miss the epic John Wick Chapter 4. Only in cinemas March 23.
The Lowdown.
They survived a plane crash, but now darkness has followed them home. The Emmy-nominated phenomenon Yellow Jackets Season 2 returns March 24. Only on Paramount Plus. Start your 7-day trial today.
The Lowdown.
Around town.
Thanks to KO Sports, Triple M's Rush Hour is getting out the crystal ball. Listen to JB and Billy weekdays from 4 to hear their footy predictions. Then see if they come true on KO Sports. Get the game you want when you want this footy season on KO.
G'day people, Mick Malloy here. Right now, when you purchase any Energizer Lights product, you can go in the draw to win a hybrid SUV. Grab a torch or headlight for camping or even DIY. Get one of the best lights, brighter lights, get the job done right. The best bet, the first 750 entries will win a double movie pass. And the hybrid SUV will be driven away by one lucky winner. Just purchase any Energizer Lights product, then head to energizerpromo.com to enter. Energizer Lights for longer lasting adventures.
T's and C's apply. See website for details.
Race into Ram Truck's Red Hot DS 1500 Express Runout for a red hot 3.99% finance rate. Stock is limited, so see your Ram dealer today. T's and C's apply. Approved ABN applicants of Ram Trucks Finance only.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. For 43 years, National Tiles has consistently given our customers the best value for money tiles in Australia. Here's proof. Magnificent polished Verona floor tiles. National Tiles' best value price of $39 is over 20% below the market. That's right, 20% below the market every day of the year. Yes, I personally guarantee you National Tiles has the best value for money tiles in Australia every day of the year.
Go full sport with Code Sports, Australia's biggest and most experienced sports news team, bringing you all the latest news and in-depth stories from around the globe, as well as every stat, odd and live score. For all your sport now in the one place, visit Code Sports today.
At Total Tools, we won't be beaten on Bosch Power Tools. Score even more at our massive Bosch Bonus Bucks event exclusively at Total Tools on now. Spend $499, get 100 Bosch Bucks. Spend $999, get 200 Bosch Bucks. Spend $4,999, get up to 1,000 Bosch Bucks to spend on any Bosch products. Beat that! Total Tools will not be beaten on Bosch Power Tools. Must end Saturday. Total Tools, low prices on every tool for every trade, guaranteed.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Tough on and off the field.
Quarter time of the MCG, Thursday night footy for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy, 2-6-18 of the Blues. The Cats 2-1-13. Goals coming through Motlop and Charlie Curnow for Carlton. And for the Cats, Jeremy Cameron and Gary Rowan, their major goal kickers. In the back row, Daisy Thomas, Nathan Brown for Seabus Super. What do we see from the opening stanza, boys?
Well, I thought the Blues were great, so I'm going to talk about the Cats and where they got the Cats, because Geelong couldn't quite get their hands on the footy like they couldn't last week against the Magpies, various parts of the game. Ash handed me a stat, plus 40 uncontested possessions for Carlton. So, and I look up and there's just nothing in the forward line at the moment. It's either Jeremy Cameron or bust. You're looking at Tom Hawkins and he's severely underdone. So you've got Jacob Wiedering doing a great job on him. So Carlton are dominating the packs. The Cats really can't. The only thing the Cats have done well in that first quarter is to lock Carlton down. Their tackles and their smothers, everything stuck for them, and it really put pressure on the Blues.
Yeah, they're lucky they're not further behind the Cats in this one. The Blues had 7 of the last 6 scores for 1 goal 6. So they, the last 7 scores, I should say, for 1 goal 6. So they were dominant in there, just couldn't put any real scoreboard pressure on going inside their forward 50. And it was that last kick, just picking the right decision, making the right decision as you go in, whether that be to pull the trigger yourself and have the shot or lower the eyes and try and connect the field. But a really pleasing start for the Blues. A clear shift in the way they want to move the ball. They're happy to take the game on through the corridor. A little bit of dare into their game, which has been able to expose the Cats and give themselves some really good field position and territory on the back of that.
Nat Unides for Bob Jane T-Mart's boundary side.
Some good news for the Cats. Zach Tui is going to start on the ground after passing that concussion test during the first quarter. Also, just keep an eye on Tom Hawkins for the rest of this match, boys. He's got a lot of strapping on his calf. He actually copped a cork last week, so just one to keep an eye on.
Came in very underdone to start this season, Tom Hawkins. Kicked a couple last week, but hasn't been able to get himself going so far. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. We start the second term with a 5-point lead to the Blues, and we get a secondary ball up next to the centre circle.
Coming out this way.
Crowd continues to build for Thursday night footy. Both teams played in front of 80,000 plus last week. As Stanley bangs it forward, Hawkins played from the back. McGovern knocked it away from him. Now Cameron trails it into the pocket. Works together with Holmes. Now Hawkins squares it up to the dangerous area. Blitzarv's got it. 2 bites of the cherry. Marks 20 metres out directly in front, punt road end.
We were just talking about how much Tom Hawkins is struggling and straight away into the game. Didn't realise where he was kicking it. He understood that he was wanting to centre it. He didn't know who was there. He had a quick look up and Blitzarv didn't let him down.
Should have no troubles from here. All-Australian last year. Had been nominated in the squad 3 times prior. Keeps it low and kicks truly. And the Cats strike first in the second quarter. And they take the lead back on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravans tough and on and off the field. The Cats 3-1, the Blues 2-6.
A good win there for Blitzarves too in the second part of that first quarter. He was sent to the skipper of the Blues in Paddy Cripps, went straight to him again at that first centre bounce, and on the Harvey Norman replay, ball transition forward. His ability, once he realised that the Hawk had won it, just to put his head down and put a gap of 5-6 metres on Paddy Cripps, as we can see here, trailing him in. That's how we got the mismatch. Took a really nice mark. Positive start for the Cats.
Good a player as Mark Blitzarves. Boom. We know his story well. He was heading to the Olympics as a distance runner. 11th season this year, 2-time best and fairest winner, as Jack just told us. First time All-Australian last year. What a unbelievable player, Mark Blitzarves, and Stacey just told you he's got the role on Paddy Cripps.
Stand. Play on.
Free kick to Dangerfield. Bowes on debut for the Cats, streaming through the middle of the MCG. Jeremy Cameron had a decent piece of it, didn't complete the mark. Max Holmes came through. Hawkins back involved, tried to get the handle to Stengel, but it has gone out of bounds. Punt road end of the MCG. The Cats by 1 point.
Mark. Tom.
What sort of crowd have we got, Two-Man?
I reckon we're probably nudging just over 50,000, Das.
Good on you, Two-Man. Pretty good at that normally. I would have thought closer to 60. But we'll see who's right, Chew, as the night unfolds. Cameron had Lewis Young in a solid tackle, no prior opportunity, so it'll be thrown up again inside forward 50 for the Cats.
You backing yourself, Chew, or you're going to let Darth stand over you like that?
It's only my first game, but I'll still back myself, Jack.
Good to have you back for season 2023. The Bowes marks.
It's been good, Bowes. This is possession number 9 coming up.
Play on.
83 with the Suns. Going to handball off, and O'Connor's the marking target. Got eased under the footy by Fisher. He did well not to give away a free kick. Out close in the left forward pocket. Couldn't keep it in, and it's out of play. 25 around from the Cats' goal. They've started well in this second quarter.
Got to be aware here. They know Tom Hawkins in the ruck is going to try and grab it out of this ruck and give it to somebody. Somebody needs to be there to tackle him.
1 point lead at Geelong. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Hawkins tried to grab it out of the ruck. Isaac Smith waiting off the stoppage, bending ball towards goal. It cannons off the chest.
He's got something wrong with his eyes, McGovern.
It's bounced off his chest into row D. Through for a behind.
That's done it.
That's the third time tonight he's put his hands up too late.
What do you think's wrong with his eyes, Nate?
Well, I just don't think he's picking the footy up quick enough.
I think it's a technique thing with his chest mark. He's going at it literally full-chested and presenting his pectorials at the ball rather than sort of collapsing them and hugging the ball in.
Good mark, Radaglia. Right in front of the Triple M commentary box. Big Asava. And some pretty good company there. Had Charlie Curnow trying to come over the top, and Radaglia, who they're really trying to turn into a defender, towards Hawkins. Wiedering again. Good. Stengel working to try and pick it up. Flicked it back to Jeremy Cameron. Takes on Cripps. Goes with the right foot centering kick. Good mark taken by Graham Myers. Not known for his overhead marking, but that was a timely mark.
It certainly was, and we spoke in the break about the Blues connection inside forward 50 and how it cost them in that first quarter. Here's the chalk and cheese in this one. Twice the Cats have gone in. Tomahawk hits the hot spot, finds blitz halves. On that occasion, Cameron could have blasted away, looked inside, lowered the eyes, found Myers.
Pretty good goal kicker, Graham Myers, with that trademark hooking across the body technique. On occasion, he did it through for a minor score. 2-6-18 Carlton, 3-3-21 Geelong. That is all on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Great to have them on board with Triple M Titanium Caravans. Are tough on and off the field.
That'll be holding the ball against Blitzarves, who said he had no prior. Cripps just plays on and makes sure that the umpire forgets about it. Cowan from halfback spills through the hands of Silvani. Zach Guthrie assessed the situation well. O'Connor had to be quick. Gave it back to Zach Guthrie. Now they're up to the wing, the Cats. Now they have the corridor. Myers to O'Connor. Links up with Close, right next to the centre circle. Has Holmes breaking out wide at half forward. Had it, then dropped it. Goes to ground. 55 out from goal. Made a mess of it. And he's going to get a free kick. Holland's got into his back.
It was probably there to the letter of the law. Hollands did everything right. Just at the last minute, he just collapsed into his back. Unfortunate, but it was there.
Triple M Harvey Norman replay. Huge run-out deals on LG 2022 TVs on now and Harvey Norman.
Take his very best. He ran really hard here at home, so he's going to have to kick it from 55. He's bent over, sucking in the big ones, and when you are this exhausted, Daisy, it is very hard to make good contact.
There's always a hard luck story in grand finals, and he was the man last year, missed with a hamstring injury. He's given it every chance. He's forced through for a rush behind. It's been all Geelong to start this second quarter. 6.5 minutes gone. They're 3-4-22. The Blues 2-6-18. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
5 inside 50s to 0.
We're going to get another one here. Brownie Doherty's coughed up the kick. Goes as Brownie said was going well, and then he just dropped it, so they win it back, the Blues. Kennedy immediately to Charlie Curnow, streaming forward Akers, and it gets some support to Shepherd from Pitternet. Jack Silvani, good lead. That's how you take a chest mark, Daisy.
It certainly is. That's the way. Wrap it up, nice and soft. You've got to present. Mitch McGovern, I'm not sure what he's doing. He needs a little bit of work there, but good ball movement, good transferal play by the Blues. Had the two options there. He had Curnow coming up through the corridor. That vacuum that was provided by his leader that wasn't on it allowed Silvani to drop into that hole.
Career set shots, Jack Silvani, 40 goals, 40. This one going to take some kicking. He was getting the countdown from the umpire. He's into his motion now. On the boundary line, 45 metres out. Good looking effort. Just a little narrow. Pretty good strike of the ball. Through for a minor score though. Carlton 2-7-19. Geelong 3-4-22. On the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
This is where defensively you want your structure to stand up, because the Cats have had dominated. Now Carlton wanted in their end for a while.
Nath Brown, Daisy Thomas, Triple M C-Bus Super special comments. 8 minutes gone in the second quarter. Thursday night footy. Tui searches along the half forward. Markle free kick. Take your pick for Jeremy Cameron.
That was a real easy out for the Cats too.
Kicked a long, long goal in the first quarter. This just a little out of his range.
Play on.
Told to play on. It's the short kick to Cam Guthrie, the two best and fairest winners from last year working together. Myers.
Got to be alert here, the Blues. That kick to the pocket is the one they find here often, the Cats.
60 metres out, punches it low, on the lead. It's exactly what you were talking about, Daisy, and Henry. Marks on his chest, 30 out, almost directly in front.
So often they shape to go long and the defenders just switch off a little bit and somebody spits up into a hole. Usually it's Tom Hawkins, usually it's Cameron. On this occasion, it was Ollie Henry. Really clever kick, good set play by the Cats.
And his deal done to get to the Cats on the last day of the trade period last season. Started well last week in his new team, and he's kicked his first of the night. Cats 4-4, the Blues 2-7, 9 minutes gone on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
So he had young Lockie Cowan on him, and he'd love his time over again, Cowan. It would be a great teaching tool for Michael Voss and the defensive coaches. He just didn't have body on him down in the goal square, so he didn't think that Henry was going to be the option. He was looking around going, okay, is Hawkins coming up? Is Cameron coming up? He should have been standing at least 5 metres off him to block the space that he wanted to run in. The only space was just in front of him and Cowan. Cowan did nothing. He didn't guard the space and he didn't take the body. He did nothing. He was looking around thinking, I don't think he's going to go. All of a sudden he's gone. This is AFL footy and he's taken the mark.
Jeremy Cameron in this quarter, 5 disposals, 3 score involvements. Cats 33-12 in terms of disposals.
The last 2 goals, the only 2 of this second term. You're going to win another clearance. Tom Atkins plays a really important role in that midfield. Almost a bit of a tunnelling free kick for Henry. Nothing doing against Newman. He's going to get it back now from Fisher at half-back. The Blues need a steadying mark here. Ed Curnow down the line. In front, Zach Guthrie. Silvani trailing in behind. Cowan with courage. He goes hard. The young man in his second game won a really big contested ball. Great play from Cowan. Kennedy runs onto it. Silvani riding shotgun, a bit of support, steps through the tackler. Cameron, good kick, Jack Silvani, well-read Myers. Nearly stole it. Chera hacks it forward. Ground ball from Motlock. That's where he loves it. Beautiful pick-up. Superb handball back to Sard, who goes with the left and gets the wrong side of the footy, puts it out of bounds on the full. So Carlton haven't made the most of their chances. 2-7-19 to 4-4-28. That is all the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Again, he had Akers on for an easy handball, the same as Paddy Cripps in the first quarter that he didn't get it from Chera. At the moment, Carlton are just careless and loose with the footy, where Geelong are methodical every time. The only difference in this game right now is the foot skills and the decision-making of both sides.
Tanner Bruhn at half-back to Koning, and then a handball to Isaac Smith. It pokes a chip pass for close. Didn't hang on to it for long enough, according to the umpire. Newman gets the ball back for Carlton. Out of sight of the MCG. Sard sweeps a handball to Chera. Now Akers on the overlap has to stop and prop and look ahead into the pocket. 50-50 kick. Curnow did well to create a contest. Oh, he snaps towards goal. It's off hands and through for a behind. 2-8 Carlton. Daisy.
Yeah, it was Jeremy Cameron who got back there on the last line, so he sensed that Silvani had slid down unopposed. He was the man who put his head down from the centre square, got all the way back to D50. Now he finds himself back outside 50 in the forward line. Really great work and work rate there from Cameron.
He works hard, doesn't he, Daisy, Jeremy Cameron? Great athlete, happy to go back and all the way back to the full back line. Here he is at half back now, Jeremy Cameron. What's his numbers, please, Chew Man?
12 disposals and a major.
Guy who over 60-plus goals. He does an enormous amount of work up through the middle of the ground. He's streaming back towards goal now as Stengel's got it. Shane Warne stands side, just dancing around Lewis Young to the Hawkins direction. Too big and strong that time. Wiedering's absolutely filthy with himself. And Tom, just a little reminder, I'm bigger than stronger than anyone.
When it comes in like that for Tom Hawkins, he's happy because he doesn't have to move that far. He can just use his body and lean on his opponent, which he did really well, but it was an easy out again for the Cats. So the ball went out of bounds on the full. Geelong went from one end of the ground to the other without Carlton really touching the ball.
Well, Geelong's goal kicking 11 years in a row, Tom Hawkins. 734 career AFL goals. Tries that left to right bender we've seen so often. It stayed a little straight and missed to the far side. So it will be kicked back in. The Blues To 8:20. The Cats 4-5-29. That's the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravans, they're tough on and off the field.
Doherty brings it back in. And 50 against Stengel, Brownie.
Probably the first little slip up the Cats have had defensively. Outside that, they're tackling, smothering, and everything's been brilliant.
Jacob Wiedering taken to the centre circle at the Triple MCGs. Kick inside 50, not a good one. Myers marks, and the Cats on the turnover have got numbers up ahead to us.
Yeah, big turnover it is indeed, Jack. Here come the Cats. Cameron from the wing. Not a great kick either. The Blues had all the numbers. Doherty back there. Just a little bit of panic out there. At times, Newman picks it up at half-back. That one works pretty well to Akers. Carlton fans want him to get moving. He does to Pitternet. They've got some numbers through the corridor. Chera was on. Pitternet didn't see him. He's going to pop it down the line to Charlie Curnow. He has to compete with two. He's had to do that a lot tonight. His brother Ed's there to lend some support. Can't keep it in. And throw in half forward for the Blues.
Two-man, just some numbers for the Blues by foot if you can.
So he's torching it by foot. They've already racked up 20 clanger kicks. We haven't even hit half-time. The AFL average per game for a team is 23, and they're going at 45% by foot in this term.
The two-man, the Triple M Red Z lending stats. Won't have the two-man any night. Oh, Curnow, diving attempt at mark. It was athletic, didn't quite complete it. The Cats fold back. Ratugolea. Zach Tui, great to see him back out there at the concussion protocols that Nat told us about. Bose has been impressive in his first game for the Cats, off hands. Out of bounds, half forward for the Blues. 2-8-20 to 4-5-29. The Cats by 9 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Nat, you need his boundary side.
We've got all the AFL heavyweights down here on the boundary not joining me, but they are sitting here watching. So Gillan McLaughlin, Andrew Dillon and Travis Older, all boundary side tonight.
They are joining you, Nat, for Bob Jane Team Arts. A bit happening off the ball. Cats free kick.
Where the ball landed.
Against DeConing.
Oh,
Harvey Norman replay, boys.
Yeah, DeConing just mowed straight over the top of O'Connor, who was holding his ground. DeConing saw him as a roadblock and treated him as one. Free kick as a result of all of that.
Mark O'Connor came into the grand final team for Max Holmes. Played a good role in that win too. As Isaac Smith drives out of defence, Sard playing from the back, knocks it forward. Now Ed Curnow at left half forward. Clever kick, found his brother, who's going to turn around and launch towards goal. Low, flat, there. Charlie's kicked his second and really just came out of nowhere for Carlton. Geelong have been doing so much of the attacking in this second quarter. The Blues are back within 3 points. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
They've been butchering it and they've been trying everything at the moment, the Blues. And as I said before, careless with the football. But tell you what, one player who's impressed me last week, and he dropped the mark at the end of the game, but Blake Acres tonight, he's pretty much one Carlton player that every time he's had the ball tonight, he's been able to use it constructively. Again, gets a quick little handball out of the pack on that occasion, gets it into the free player, and Ed Curnow does the right thing, sees his brother. It's like backyard footy. And then Charlie plays on and kicks a goal. But Blake Acres doing a really good job.
How was that finish too? Low, hard, penetrating from 55. Hit the fence on the full. That's as good as you'll see.
Smart player, isn't he, Charlie Curnow? Summed that up perfectly. Not an easy kick to make. That one around the body at distance, low and hard, as Daisy Thomas just explained beautifully. Important goal for the Blues. Charlie's second. Tui sends the Cats deep. Launching out at Rowan. Front and centre was Cam Guthrie. Rowan back in there, working hard. Ed Curnow, good strong tackle. He'll be thrown up in attack for the Cats. Punt road end.
Geelong ruck, please.
Good contest this one. 4-5 to 3-8. 3-point lead to Geelong. 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Pitnet goes for clean possession. Stengel picked up the scraps. Folding the handball out was Kennedy. Releases Zach Fisher. Free kick off the ball.
Carlton where the ball is.
This is the four umpires.
You have to slow this one down. DeConing standing in the hole behind him, so Silvani needs to look lateral.
Looks like it was on Stengel off the ball. The footy was advanced forward. Motlop, broadcast wing, stood up in the tackle. Handball's back inside. Durden brought to ground strongly. The kick ricochets off the side of the boot, and that's a mark to Jed Buse.
Stand. Play on.
Quick hands off to O'Connor. Wiedering this time out manoeuvres Henry, who's just a little bit smaller than Tom Hawkins. It was a bit of an easier scenario for him.
He's ragdolled Ollie Henry.
Massive quads on him.
Good contest between Ian Hawkins. This is Cowan. The Carlton fans are mooing again, Daisy. It's
got to be a milk sponsorship in there, Duke.
Something brewing there for sure, Brownie. A little perplexed by it. Chera gets rolling. Good chance to Goning's playing forward at the back. Jack Silvani's going to get a gift. Pick it up, Jack. Oh, he gave it away to Owies. Very unselfish. And Owies is celebrating like he's kicked goal of the year. I'd go back to Jack Silvani and give him a high five. He's torched him on that. Owies has got the chest out. He's coming off the ground. Big goal for Carlton. They're back in front 4-8-32 to 4-5-29 on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Top three celebrator in the comp he is. Draper's up there. We obviously know the Pappy's there, but this man absolutely loves it.
Celebrator.
Top three, yeah, he goes absolutely bunter anytime he gets in front of the big sticks, and he's ready to celebrate.
Bit of me about Owies too.
Well, we just saw it there. Jack Silvani unselfishly gave it to him. He didn't worry about going back for the high five. He was off to the members with the finger in the air. The Blues have done well, though. They've slightly adjusted here. That uncontested possession that they were so dominant with in that first quarter has certainly dried up here in the second, Shoe Man.
Yeah, it certainly has. They were plus 40 at quarter time in this second term. They're down by 2.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. The Blues back in front on a Thursday night at the MCG. Ed Curnow is having a big influence in this first half. His kick to the outer side wing. Bruin back first for Geelong. Now Tui took on the tackle. Had it for a while. Had plenty of opportunity to get rid of it and does. Close gave a handball off. Now Blitzarves at half forward. High tumbly ball. Inside the Cats forward 50, it's knocked away. Fisher waited off front and centre for Carlton. Handballs to Newman. Corridor is the Blues and away they go.
Ollie Holland storming through the middle of the MCG to Motlop. Brilliant play, Carlton. Kick just hung in the air. Made it difficult for Mackay. Motlop chases his own work down and lays a good tackle on Tui. Nearly got him. Well done, Zach Tui, the Irishman. Stood up. There's a player down that Unides. We'll get back to you in a moment.
It's DeConing.
He's looking pretty sore. Sam DeConing, the Cats defender. We'll get an update on that in a moment. Carlton on the wing meantime. MCC members side. Zach Fisher to Silvani. Takes the mark. Half forward for the Blues.
He's not well, DeConing. And it's headed in his direction.
Akers needs to lead up at the footy. He expects Silvani to kick it 90 metres.
Silvani into the pocket. Curnow flies. DeConing flies as well. It was Tom. Neither could mark. Holmes out of defence for the Cats, who are under pressure right now. Henry taken away from the ball. Sard arrives on the scene. Right foot back to the hot spot. Mackay not that time. Now 30 metres out from the Blues goal. Geelong will eventually find an avenue out of defence, and they find it through Rowan. Good kick too.
Yeah, beautiful kick. Jack finds Henry.
50.
Out of 50's huge. It's been all Carlton, and Henry is going to be...
Blood rule, Geelong.
We've got a blood rule as well. It's Jeremy Cameron coming off. We'll get to that in a moment. Henry is going to be advanced to within goal-kicking range. Let's get out to Nat. Bob Jane T-Mars. What are you seeing, Nat?
So Sam DeConing has come off. He copped one from Harry Mackay. So he's gotten one from Curnow and Mackay so far today. So he's really been in the wars. Of course, last week he had that knee injury as well, which he was really cautious about during the week. That's not the case today. Expect the doctors to have a look at that one, and then just keeping an eye on Jeremy Cameron as well, who did come off with the blood rule.
Ollie Henry, thank you, Nat, for Bob Jane T-Marts. Kicked a couple in his first game for the Cats against his old team in round one. This one, no angle to worry about. 45-metre kick, punt road end, and it has missed. 4-6-30 to 4-8-32. 2-point lead in favour of the Blues. That's on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. What'd you see, Nate?
It was just an accidental hit, so there was a clash with Tom DeConing and also Mackay, but getting up, Motlop just collected him with the elbow. Accidental.
Guthrie's kick straight into the waiting arms of Sard at half-back. Doherty, aggressive kick into the corridor, puts it out in front of Motlop. Run down from behind. Hughes got him, but Motlop got the handball away. And then Ed Curnow wobbles a left foot kick to the top of 50. Ranagalia takes it to the boundary line ahead of Charlie Curnow. The game's gone up a notch in the last 10 minutes.
Great scrambling defence there from the Cats. Very rarely do you get a kick through the corridor with shoulders out and you're able to put two try-saving tackles on, if you will, there. Both balls were going in the Curnow direction. Lunging efforts from the Cats. Brilliant stuff.
Daisy Thomas, Nate Brown, Triple M Super special comments in the back row. Kennedy, strong tackle on him. Play on's the call. You can hear the umpires mic'd up for us here on Triple M exclusively. As always, back to Sard. Inside 450. Go the Blues. Charlie Curnow. Beautiful hands. Too good for Radagalia. What a player he is, Charlie Curnow. And a pensive-looking Chris Scott in the coach's box.
They're doing it the hard way at the moment, the Blues, aren't they? It's scrappy, they're making a lot of mistakes, and they're getting goals in unconventional ways. And again, a snap ball, bomb ball inside forward 50. Curnow had to go to work and do his best. He didn't let his team down.
3 goals last week in the draw versus the Tigers. Kicked a ripper about 5 minutes ago, and he kissed the single Cobra. He's got 3 in the first half, Charlie Curnow. The Blues have kicked the last 3 of the match. They're at the 5-8-38 to 4-6-30. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Completely different styles of football at the moment. The Cats are more methodical and look dangerous every time they go in. When the Blues get it, it's a little bit more agricultural. They're run and gun, they're helter-skelter, and it looks like they're getting goals a little bit by luck sometimes, not so much design. But Collingwood did this last week for the first half. They just hung around with the Cats, hung around, and their running power in the second half overtook the Cats. Now, can the Blues keep this up, Daisy, and can they keep playing the way they are for 4 quarters?
I just love the fact that they're being bold with the ball. As soon as they got that turnover there that hit Sam Doherty, his only look was through the corridor, and it was a kick to space rather than to an opponent. Loving what I'm seeing from the Blues.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. DeConing climbs all over Stanley from that centre bounce. Cripps trying to clear it out for the Blues. Both teams on hands and knees. Guthrie, ball spills out the back. Cripps is still going. Still trying to force it out, and eventually just muscled it through to Chera. He's brought to ground as soon as he had it. Ball still bouncing around inside the centre circle. Ed Curnow on hands and knees. And Kennedy, Cripps had a fumble. Good follow-up from Akers and follow-up from Kennedy, just as good. Little kick was touched on the way through to Hollands, who's 55 out from goal. Off to Akers. Just got into the boot in the nick of time. Some holding. Carlton free kick going to Harry Mackay.
Akers involved again. His running power tonight's been brilliant, but take a bow, Paddy Cripps. He's had a tough quarter. I think he got to about 11 disposals halfway through that first. Since then, the clamps have been put on him, but it's the first time he's touched the ball, but it was 5 or 6 repeated efforts in the middle of the ground. Looked like Carlton, Geelong, went to get that ball out, but he just willed the ball their way.
1-2 from his 4 set shots last week against Richmond. He wants to kick the snap. Man on the marks, 35 metres out. Right forward pocket, it bends back beautifully. The Blues skip out to a game-high 14-point lead. Titanium Caravan scoreboard as we hit past 27 minutes in this second quarter.
Some headaches now for the Cats down in defence there, so O'Connor's had to go to Curnow now that DeConing has come off with that head knock. Scrambling across, Radagalia now onto Mackay, and as we saw there, it wasn't a perfect kick, but it was just to the advantage of Mackay, who was good enough to get his big frame in the way, protect the drop zone. He was going to have a run and jump at it. Radagalia ever so mindful of that, so felt that pressure, perceived pressure, just put an arm around, parachuted the jump. Umpires pay that every day of the week. And then good enough to go back, Mackay. Hasn't had the best night goal kicking, missed an early one with the set shot. Went back, trusted that banana, good enough to kick it.
Blues 10 out of the last 14 entries for 4 goals straight, and Brownie Akers in this quarter, number 1 ranked player, 10 disposals, 200 plus metres gained.
He's been super.
Get to that in a moment for Bob Jane teammates. The Cats fisting it forward was Tui, bounced over the head of Young. Inside forward 50, Stengel and Sard. A beautiful pick-up defensively. It was outstanding play.
Cowan.
Second game of Cowan. How clean was that, Brownie? Tom DeConing to half forward. Durden ran onto it. Radagalia's got some issues here. The tackle was good. No prior opportunity. For Bob Jane teammates, what can you tell us?
Sam DeConing has gone down to the rooms for a concussion test, and in that time, Jeremy Cameron has also just slipped back onto the ground. They did some running repairs, so he's got a nice headband going on.
I've had a couple of those issues tonight. The Cats, Zach Tui, as Dar said, did a concussion test in the first quarter. Advantage play. There's Cameron with the headband. Puts it out in front of Stengel at right half forward. Has Hawkins on the lead. And finds him tucked away in the right forward pocket. 48 metres out from goal. It's the first chance the Cats have had just to try and slow Carlton down for the best part of 10 minutes here, Dave.
It certainly is, and he doesn't look like he's confident in the journey here, Hawk. Not sure why the umpire hasn't called him to play on. Now going back with some authority, like he's going to have the set shot.
He's got 6 seconds to get on the move and kick this footy. And after all of that, he goes short. And Jeremy Cameron has it right next to the boundary line. Right forward pocket at the punt road end. 20 seconds before half time. It'll just about be the final action of the first half. Steps inside the field of play.
Oh.
How good is he? Jeremy Cameron with an absolute perler on the halftime siren.
Well, if you're Michael Voss right now, you're sitting there going, how did that ball get to him? We've got at least 16 players in our defensive 50. There's only one spot that he can go. It's on the boundary, and they were caught napping at the late stage. They just didn't think that Jeremy Cameron was going to offer up that lead, and they just didn't. They shouldn't have coughed that up, but they have, and they've given one back. They're 8 points up in the Blues. They've played much better football, but he'd be filthy with that Michael Voss right on half-time.
No body work again. That time was the experienced Sam Docherty. He just went to sleep. Cameron presented just a 2-step lead. The connection between he and Hawkins was so good that was all that was required. Docherty just needed to go between the man and the ball, arm across.
Couple of goals for Jeremy Cameron. That one, a belter, very close to the halftime siren. Now it's just going to be recalled. 5 seconds remaining in the first half. I think Joel Searle would bandage around his head. Jezza. Good contest, this one. Tom DeConing. Hack forward by Atkins. Out comes Saar. And there is half-time, the MCG. Beautiful evening. And a good contest. The Blues enjoy a half-time lead of 8 points. They're 6-8-44. The Cats 5-6-36. We've got Nat Yanides. We've got the Chew Man. Jack Heverin on fire at the MCG. Nate Brown and Daisy Thomas. That's your Thursday night call team for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. The Blues by 8 points over the Cats at halftime. Round 2 on a Thursday night. Triple M rocks footy.
That quarter, the titanium caravans, tough on and off the field.
For Ream Hot Water.
Triple M rocks footy.
Built tough for Aussie conditions. When it comes to water heating, ask your plumber to install a Ream.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold. Triple M's $10,000 vault wasn't cracked this morning. Ella, what's your numbers?
9657.
Has Ella won herself 10 grand?
Pin incorrect.
Which means now you have a 1 in 5 chance to win 10 grand. If you've been keeping up with all the guesses, to open the vault and win 10 grand, all you need to do is put these numbers in the right order.
5976.
Triple M's $10,000 vault, 7:30 tomorrow morning, only on Triple M's Marty Sheargold show.
G'day, it's BT here. Are you an apprentice plumber? Kickstart your career in plumbing with a $3,000 grant from Ream. That'll help with the TAFE fees. Head over to ream.com.au/apprentice and apply for a Ream Apprentice Plumber grant today. Applications close April 21. T's and C's apply.
At Macca's, they know it's important to make your pre-game routine count. And on Triple M's Rush Hour, your pre-game routine could count towards winning you $5 grand. Tell us your pre-game routine now on the Triple M win page, triplem.com.au.
Dan Murphy's March catalogue out now. Discover a huge choice of delicious drinks at incredible prices. From ginger beer to ready-to-go cocktails, shop unbeatable catalogue offers at Dan Murphy's today. Offers end Wednesday, March 29. Choose to drink wise. Conditions apply.
To all the hard-working people in the rail, transport and energy industries who keep Australia moving, we offer comprehensive hospital and extras cover to help you take care of your health. We are RT Health Insurance.
We're all looking forward to a break this Easter, and for many people, they're looking forward to a holiday away from home. That means new people visiting this area with money to spend.
Spot on, Jimmy. So if you're a business owner, advertise on Triple M this Easter to tell the holiday makers who you are and what you have to offer. The average person spends around $2,000, Jim, over the Easter holidays. So if you want them to spend that money with you, advertise right here on Triple M.
Visit triplem.com.au now and click on Advertise Local to find out more.
Hello, Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. For 43 years, National Tiles has consistently given our customers the best value for money tiles in Australia. Here's proof. Magnificent polished Verona floor tiles. National Tiles' best value price of $39 is over 20% below the market. That's right, 20% below the market every day of the year. Yes, I personally guarantee you National Tiles has the best value for money tiles in Australia every day of the year.
Thanks to KO Sports, Triple M's Rush Hour is getting out the crystal ball. Listen to JB and Billy weekdays from 4 to hear their footy predictions. Then see if they come true on KO Sports. Get the game you want when you want this footy season on KO.
Tools, tools, tools! Sydney Tools DeWalt Roadshow on now! Score up to 20% in bonus points! Save on combo kits, drop saws, table saws, laser levels, hand tools and much more! Spend $400 on DeWalt hand tools and score a free tool bag! DeWalt minus all combo kits, save $500! Just $13.99! Plus score $200 DeWalt dollars! DeWalt 18-volt 2-piece combo kit, $700! Plus score $100 DeWalt dollars! Sydney Tools, best prices guaranteed! Shop in store online, sydneytools.com.au.
Whether it's savings for first cars, a pool for the backyard, or home loans for a little patch of peace, AMP's banking solutions are here for whatever wealthy you want.
Shut up! The footy's on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade for expert advice and a job done right first time.
The Blues in front at half-time. They lead by 8 points at the Triple MCG, 6-8-44 to the Cats, 5-6-36. Charlie Curnow, the star of the first half, has 3 of Carlton's 6 goals. Owies, Mackay and Motlop have the others. Jeremy Cameron with a couple for the Cats. And Ollie Henry, their other goal kicker as well. It's the half-time break for Mitre 10 Trade for expert advice and a job done right first time. Nath Brown, Daisy Thomas and the Chew Man all in the house. Daisy, what'd you make of the opening half?
Very entertaining half of footy. 2 different styles we saw on display. The Blues happy to build the ball up by foot in that first quarter and clearly outplayed the Cats, just weren't able to capitalise on the scoreboard. And then in that second term, the Cats were good enough to take that avenue away from the Blues, and they just got their goals in the end from more good luck than good system, if you will. But they took the game on. They were bold with their ball movement, which we implored them to do on the back of what we saw from the Pies last week against Geelong. You can certainly get them if you are brave enough to go through the corridor. And a couple of times it wasn't pretty. It was sort of edge of your seat stuff. It could have gone back the other way, but they were good enough to fight and scrap, get numbers to the contest, and on the back of that score quite freely in the end there. So a really positive start and a positive half from the Blues.
But they've been here before, haven't they? So what does it look like from here? And they'll know this too.
Yeah, well, they know that the Cats will keep coming. And I think the positive about it is that they haven't gone into their shells, because it hasn't been perfect so far from the Blues in terms of finding laser beams through the corridor, hitting chests, hitting targets. They've scrapped and they've done it ugly. So the positive for them is they'll be reassuring each other that keep taking the game on, we're getting reward for effort, keep spreading. And I think the thing is they don't have to force it every time. We saw a couple of times in that first quarter, they were happy to build the ball up through uncontested marks and march the ball up, get it from D50 all the way to a half-forward flank, and then set the field up defensively with a +1, with a Wiedering dropping back, with the ruckman coming out, those sorts of things. So you don't have to go helter-skelter and get caught up in the game 100% of the time. Just take what the game continues to give you. And from the Cats, I think they'd be going in saying, well, we've been completely outplayed there in a half of footy, and we're 8 points behind. So for them, they'd be certainly pretty happy, I'd imagine, where this game sits, considering the amount of ball and the looks that the Blues have had.
And they're still... And we're probably are we seeing a bit of this, that they're still coming together? A few new players, just maybe starting a little bit slow after winning last year's premiership. Nothing to panic about.
No, absolutely not. And there's no doubt that they have a view and a vision for making sure that they're absolutely peaking for the back half of the season. Not saying that they're underdone by any stretch right now, but if we're talking 1 or 2% off between the teams, you can certainly see that. Hawkins clearly underdone. He's one that's come back from surgery. They've had to rush him back in with injuries, and he's just servicing a role down there, trying to make sure that Wiedering's accountable for someone. Had some impact in that quarter there. Still got the smarts and nous in and around with a couple of score involvements and a couple of goal involvements from his limited touches of the football. But it is interesting to see how this game, and if it continues to go, the longer it goes, and if the Blues continue to hang around, if they're able to do what the Pies did last week, or if the Cats can have that system, can have their class and experience come to the floor and just will away to get a win for something they desperately need, which they weren't able to do last week.
Nate Brown's just had his second donut, so had his sugar hit, ready to go. Brownie, what'd you make of the first half?
Well, I thought both sides played dramatically different. The Cats were methodical where the Blues were helter-skelter, and it cost the Blues dearly at times, but they continued to run and they continued to tough it out, and I thought they were stronger around the footy than what the Cats were, and that's a big thing because the Cats are really tough around the football. Obviously, they don't have Joel Selwood in there anymore, but it just seemed like every 50-50 ball there for a while was going the Blues' way, and Kennedy's a big boy in there. Akers was fantastic. Cripps went out of it, but he had a fantastic first half. So if the Blues can just clean up a little few things, and they'd go into this half-time break, and Michael Voss would be saying, Collingwood outran them last week. You need to put the petrol down right now in this third quarter. You've got to ask them the question. You've got to ask them all sorts of questions. Can you run with us? You can't leave anything out there in this third quarter because this is the quarter that sets it up. They're going to get into three-quarter time with a nice, healthy lead. Then Michael Voss goes again. We overrun them. They got overrun last week. They're tired. They've got players who are underdone. They've brought players in underdone, and we can outrun them.
And I think from the Cats, they'd be sitting there going, just keep hanging around. They don't have enough to go with us for long enough, and if it gets tight, they'll continue to get tight, and we'll get our opportunities late in this one.
Two-man, Red Z Lenders, what's jumping out at you from the first half?
Yeah, territory in the front half for the Blues are the positives. They're winning the time in the forward half, 54% to Geelong at 46%. They got belted last week. They're broken even with the inside 50s as well. As Daisy said, they lost that step by 21 against the Tigers last round, and their pressure in the front half, 182 the night opposed to 158 last week. But the kick clangers, they've racked up 21.5. The AFL average per team is at 23. Just some leading ball winners for the Blues. Sard's at 19, but he's going at 40% by foot, usually goes at 80. Chera and Kennedy 17 each. Akers 13, number one ranked player in that second term, 10 disposals, 222 metres gained. And for the Cats, Cameron 15 and a couple of majors. Smith with 15. Bowes, his first game at his new club with 12 and 7 intercepts. Dangerfield 11, but just the 4 in that second term.
Oh, you've settled back in beautifully, Chu, for 2023. Let's get to our Amy Clanger, who covers clangers on and off the field. Amy does. Isaac Smith waiting off the stoppage, bending ball towards goal. It cannons off the chest.
He's got something wrong with his eyes, McGovern.
It's bounced off his chest into row D.
What do you think's wrong with his eyes, Nate?
Well, I just don't think he's picking the footy up quick enough.
I think it's a technique thing with his chest mark. He's going at it literally full-chested and presenting his pectorials at the ball rather than sort of collapsing them and hugging the ball in.
You think there's some optical issues, do you, Dr. Mark Meredith?
Well, I think there is. There's been at least 3 or 4 occasions tonight where I feel like he's put his hands up too late, and it's almost like the old crocodile catch, like I'm going to get it late, and I just don't think he's judging it that well. That could only be a timing or an optical illusion for him.
Two-man, where are we tomorrow night, please?
We've got the Friday huddle.
I thought I'd just keep moving.
Absolutely not.
That was all over the joint.
The Friday huddle with the Doc Brownie, Das, Howie, Chief and Damo, and then we are heading up to the Gabba for the big one, Brisbane versus Melbourne.
Brownie, while we're on a roll, please, not only are you an optometrist, but you're also a cricket analyst as well. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead and book it, because you have, of course, called a wicket on your very first ball of Triple M cricket commentary.
I have. Stumps on day one of the Shield final. The Victorians are 8 for 194. Ash Chandrasinghe has had 46 off about 850 balls. he might carry his bat. Now, he's 46 off 266, so they needed someone to hang around. Matt Short, 36. Mitch Perry, 33. And Lance Morris has taken 2 for 52 for Western Australia.
Just to clarify, it was an optical illusion. Is that?
Well, I just think he sees the footy and then it's not there. He goes up too late. I don't know how he does it. It might be just a nighttime thing for it, but I've seen him take great marks, but it just seems like tonight he's very late on it. Timing's not his friend.
You just never quite know what you're going to get on Triple M footy. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, it is the Blues who lead at half-time, 6-8 to 5-6. Third quarter's up next.
That halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade for expert advice and a job done right first time.
For Ream Hot Water and McDonald's.
Triple M rocks footy.
Are you an apprentice plumber? Kickstart your career in plumbing with a $3,000 grant, Daisy, from Ream. The Ream Apprentice Plumber Grants are back for 2023.
How good is that, Jack? Ream is passionate about supporting the future of plumbing and once again is offering rising stars in the industry the chance at a grant valued at $3,000. If you're a plumbing apprentice or know someone who is, head over to ream.com.au/apprentice and apply today.
It's as good as it gets. Ream, supporter of plumbers and future plumbers for over 80 years. Terms and conditions apply.
You three mates
choppered into this year's Formula One Rolex Australian Grand Prix. Not too shabby.
Well done.
Yay!
Shortlist me.
Amazing.
Oh, this is amazing. Here we go.
Tickets to all 4 days, paddock and pit tour, plus $2,000 to spend on merch.
Hey, this is Thomas from Bentley.
Jess from Pakenham Upper.
Cameron from Brunswick.
And I know
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
Listen closely to Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show anytime 6 to 9. Then answer a question while you're working. That's it.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show.
Major building projects for the trade or a DIY home reno. Robot Building Supplies is the Australian-owned family-run business you can trust.
Robots got it.
Robot's product range is vast and world-class. And when it comes to product knowledge,
Robots got it.
next day delivery in Metro Melbourne.
Robots got it.
Over 70 years experience and reliability helping Melburnians. Robot Building Supplies. Notting Hill, Sunshine, Preston, Dramana, Pakenham, Coldstream and Darnham. robotbuildingsupplies.com.au.
ROBOT. Robot Building Supplies.
40 crispy chicken McNuggets are for friends. Together with tangy Cajun sauce, close friends only. Pick up juicy chicken and tangy Cajun at Macca's drive-thru today. Select items available for a limited time.
I need help. I can't tell the difference between what's real and what's not.
Paramount Plus presents the new original series, Rabbit Hole.
You found something big enough to make you a target.
Starring Kiefer Sutherland.
None of this makes sense.
It's a mind game, John.
Deception is reality.
The enemy is everywhere.
Rabbit Hole. Streaming March 27. Exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Fran's feeling pretty confident. She's just searched by salary on Seek and found another mouth-watering job just right for her. She's so confident. She's brave enough to say...
not your best.
About Nonna's famous rigatoni?
Oddio, una maledizione su di te, anche il tuo cane.
It's hard not to feel this confident when you can find the right jobs for you. Every single time. Tap the Seek app today.
March into exceptional opportunities at Mornington BMW. Enjoy savings equal to the GST across the range of deliverable vehicles by March 31st. Exclusive to Mornington BMW. Terms and conditions apply. Licence 7674.
Parking meter out of order? That's pretty good. Woohoo! Yeah! Almost as good as the massive 50% off you get on all TPG mobile plan fees for the first 6 months. That's right. For the first 6 months, get 12 gigs of data for just $10 a month, all on a no lock-in contract. TPG. New TPG mobile customers only. For use in Oz, $20 a month after the first 6 months. T's and C's apply.
The Lowdown around town.
Keanu Reeves is back to face powerful new enemies all across the globe in the ultimate action blockbuster John Wick Chapter 4. Don't miss the epic John Wick Chapter 4. Only in cinemas March 23.
The Lowdown.
They survived a plane crash, but now darkness has followed them home. The Emmy-nominated phenomenon Yellow Jackets Season 2 returns March 24. Only on Paramount Plus. Start your 7-day trial today.
The Lowdown around town.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, a wide range of lighting and electrical products, and expert trade teams who offer the best services, making every tradie's job easier.
Half time at the MCG. The Navy Blues lead the Cats by 8 points. Not far away from getting the second half back up and running. Nate Brown, Daisy Thomas here at half time. The Blues have been really impressive and enjoy an 8-point lead. Could have been a little more. Great goal from Jeremy Cameron on the half-time side. Let's go around the grounds thanks to our great friends from Choice Hotels around the grounds. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead and book it. The Friday huddle tomorrow night. Nate, looking forward to spending Friday with you. The Brisbane Lions at the Gabba play host to the D's. What do you make of that game?
Well, Melbourne have had a flawless pre-season and they've come out hungry, and they get Stephen May potentially back, Jack Viney, Bailey Fritsch, Christian Salem. And it's a real danger game for it's not a danger game for Brisbane Lions. It's a must-win game. It's almost like a mini-final, if you would, because they play the Dogs next week in Melbourne at Marvel. Then they play Collingwood, so it's a tough start. You don't want to be 0-4, and to beat Melbourne, it's a big ask for the Brisbane Lions tomorrow night.
Have you gone mini-final in round 2, Nate?
Absolutely. It's a big call.
A touch early, maybe?
But I'll stand by it.
All right, mini-final coming up for the Brisbane Lions up there, which is interesting. Collingwood take on Port Adelaide at the MCG. Saturday afternoon days.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting one. Obviously, the big talking point already is the prison bars. Both fans will be going bunter in the stands about that one. Not happy, don't like each other. Plenty in that one. Look, Port Adelaide having to travel across is probably the only issue, but they were fantastic in that first week of footy against the Lions. Can't knock the Pies either. Expecting a cracking contest, but I'll be tipping the Pies in that one.
Good games everywhere across the round. Keep it locked.
I don't understand that jumper thing.
So it's the stripes that they don't like.
Yeah.
The Pies think it's theirs.
I just don't understand why Port Adelaide can't wear it, and because Collingwood were in the competition first, when they play Collingwood, they wear a clash strip.
Yeah.
We sort of can't have two black and white teams, Nate, I would have thought.
But they wear a clash strip. The Premier League, you played Chelsea and Crystal Palace, they both wear blue.
I think it's
one team wears a different strip.
I've got no issues with them wearing it when it's the Port Adelaide, which is where it sort of is from. It's the old school ground that they have out there and the old jumper that they want to wear it for. I don't see
Just for one game you're going to allow them.
Well, I don't see why they'd want to wear it for anything else.
Because they like it?
This is the halftime break for Mitre 10 Trade for expert advice.
Chat for off-air.
Expert comments from Nate back there because they like it.
Because they like it. That's fair enough. It's hard to argue.
And it's history.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Carlton jumper, but I couldn't wear it playing for Bulldogs, Nate, as well.
Now you're being silly, Duke.
Let's get down to Nat Unides. Busy night down there for you, Nat, for Bob Jane T-Marts.
Yeah, it certainly has been busy, but fortunately nothing too serious. Sam De Koning is out there for the Cats warming up, so it looks like he's going to start on the ground in the third term. Cooper White, who's the sub for the Cats, still wearing that warm-up jumper, and so too is Lockie O'Brien, who is Carlton's sub. So no changes for either side at halftime. Also, as we speak, we're just keeping an eye on that tribunal hearing involving Shane McAdams and the bump we saw over the weekend involving the Giants' Jacob Weir. They're still deliberating, so they've now been deliberating for over 80 minutes. It's almost like the tribunal are trying to determine whether or not the bump is dead. Hopefully we do find out shortly, and we will give you an update on whether or not McAdams is suspended.
Thank you, Nat. Look forward to hearing back from you on that one. Bob Jane T-Marts, you can buy 3, get 1 free, plus instant cash back. Call or order online. T's and C's apply. A little thought from you, True Man, before we get the second half underway?
Yeah, Dangerfield, a little bit quiet in that second quarter. Only the 4 touches, has 11 for the game.
Carlton enjoy an 8-point lead. We're ready to go in the second half. Good crowd at the MCG for McDonald's and Ream Hotwater. Triple M Rocks footy. Here's Jack Everin.
Thank you, Das. The all-important third quarter for the Blues, who have done a lot right to put themselves in a winning position. Much like last week, they led for 80% of that game and had to settle for a draw. Free kick for a hold. Take your pick. And it's going the Blues' way. Pitnet, who was the late change tonight, Jack Martin coming out of the team. Looks wide to Akers. Now Sard on the wraparound. Drills a pass into the pocket. Harry Mackay found space. He's 30 metres out, tucked away left forward pocket.
He'd love this for his own confidence, wouldn't he? This is the wrong side for a left footer. Perfect move out of the middle. Sard just teaming off half back, but he needs this for his own confidence, Big H.
He prefers this side as a left footer, though, than the other side, the traditional side for the left footer. So he'll be backing himself here with the drop punt.
Are you backing him in, Daisy?
I certainly am.
Nice.
Not sure what that means for Harry Mackay. 1-1 tonight. That starts out wide and that won't register a score.
Really let me down there, did the Big H. Clearly has some thoughts going through his head, though, with that drop punt. A lot's been made of it. There's a bit of external noise now. Not the fluid motion we've seen him in years past. Just go back and dob them and send them best part of 4 or 5 rows back.
Jed Hughes sends it out of defence. Mark Pitnet, the late inclusion into the side. Jack Martin, the laid out. Pitnet with a big strong mark. Centering kick. Silvani from the side through his hands. Sam De Koning, good tackle. Corey Durden got him. Silvani gliding through some heavy traffic. Left foot snap. It was offline. Just snuck it in for a minor score. Carlton 6-9-45. 5-6-36. The Cats. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard supporting tradies. Over 120 stores. Expert trade teams. Design services. Huge range of electrical accessories. Beacon making every tradie's job easier.
Great to have Beacon back with us for season 2023. De Koning from halfback for Geelong. Hoists it high and long. Blitzarves a marking target. Couldn't take it. And Myers locks it up for the Cats. Umpire letting it go. And eventually comes in, Brett Roseberry. And balls it up out there tonight with Justin Powell, Robert O'Gorman and Nathan Williamson. And 4 officials for Thursday night footy. Cripps, handball in tight to Kennedy, who's got a runner alongside him. It's Chera, 60 metres out, low kick. He's spot on for Durden.
It's a great kick by Chera. This is what they weren't doing in the first half. So this ends up being an easy shot at goal. They've worked so hard and so many inside 50s in that first half. This was just a nice breakaway and an easy inside forward 50, and needs to nail it.
21 games last year, Corey Durden. 15 goals, but kept his spot based on his forward pressure. As Brownie said, needs to go back and finish. And hits the post. A couple of behinds to start this second quarter for the Blues. They're 6-10-46. The Cats 5-6-36. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
It was a real breakout year for Corey Durden last year. 21 games, 15 goals. As Jack said, that one hit the post. Here's Tui from fullback. Blitzarves in front of Cripps. How's that matchup played out, Two-Man?
Yeah, Triple M Red said Patrick Cripps 14, Blitzarves 9.
Since he's gone on to him, I think he's had the better of Patrick Cripps.
Sam De Koning in the wars again. He's been cleaned up. He's just limping back on the defence. He had one of those nights. Appears to be okay. Cam Guthrie got rid of Kennedy. Used the body perfectly on that occasion. Right in front of the interchange race. Commentary side. Zach Fisher's chipped it off. Spills to Akers. He can chip it to Paddy Cripps. Still 2 kicks from home. Sees a target he likes, Charlie Curnow. True centre half forward. Jeremy Cameron got back and was playing the role of defender, and Charlie said, I'll grab that one. Took it on the second bite. And the superstar Coleman medal winner from last year can line up for goal number 4.
And why wouldn't you back your forward in like that? It's a dangerous kick to centre-half forward. Not a lot of coaches like the long ball to that centre-half forward position, but if you got someone as good as him, back him in one-on-one. Get it to him with a one-on-one. Every defender hates it. And when you look up, it's Jeremy Cameron trying to come back and get onto Charlie Curnow. Even better, you try and get that ball in the air to him.
Generally some fear about the knee injury with Charlie Curnow. Would he actually ever get back at all? Not only is he back, he's got 4 goals tonight, Jack. He's a Coleman medal winner. He's one of the best in the game, and he's turning it on at the MCG on a Thursday night. He's the difference at the moment, 7-10 to 5-6. It's Carlton leading early stages second half on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
So Jeremy Cameron's scrambling to get back because De Koning once again went to the ground. He had the physios out with him, so that's where the mismatch came from. He's had one of those nights, De Koning. Every time he goes near it, he seems to be getting clipped. We see the doctor out to him again now. He's saying he's okay, but he needs to, if he is getting these contacts, he needs to get up and progress the game and move on with the game a touch quicker than what he has in the last few instances there. That's his direct opponent. Try and shuffle yourself back into the game, get to a dangerous spot.
Daisy Thomas, Nath Brown, Triple MC Bus Super Special comments. Two-man Red Z Lending, biggest lead in the game for the Blues right now.
Yeah, spot on at 16 points. Inside 50s this quarter as well. 4-zip Blues way.
Red Z Lending, loans for the self-employed. REDZED.com. Charlie Curnow with 4 goals is threatening to take this game apart. They get a secondary stoppage in the middle. You can hear the Blues fans, they're lifting. They know that there's a golden opportunity to knock off the reigning premiers, but it won't come easy. Buse off the back of the centre circle. Kick goes over the head of Jeremy Cameron. And Lewis Young knocks it out of bounds for a throw-in. 45 around from the Cats' goal. They trail by 16 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Jeremy Cameron just pointing a little lower. That one hung in the air. Opened the opportunity for Lewis Young to get involved. They'll get it thrown in on their forward 50. The Cats, 16 points they trail by. Tom De Koning won it down. Cameron picked it up. Blitzarves was good. Back to Isaac Smith. They're going to pay the mark. It was right off the side of the boot. Max Holmes launched at it, took a really good mark. Powerful athlete to Cameron, right in the range where we know he can kick them from. It'll be about a 52-metre set shot kick. Normally not a problem for Jezza.
Just superior work right there. He came up to this throw up of the ball in here on the other sort of logo there, the Telstra logo at 50. Lewis Young was his direct opponent, but he just tracked the ball. Young folded back to the goal square. Cameron stayed involved, got himself a look on the lateral lead.
Got a couple tonight. Jeremy Cameron, this feels like a big moment in the game. Early stage of the second half, the goal number 3. City end of the MCG. Look how good that kick is. 3 goals for Jezza. Cats needed that one, back to 10 points. For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, that's all brought to you on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Not only has he kicked the 3 goals, Duke, but he's had the most disposals tonight for the Cats. 17 disposals, 14 kicks, 3 handballs, and he has patrolled that half-forward line. So it's a tough one for Lewis Young because he knows that he doesn't have the wheels to go with Jeremy Cameron. So at a stoppage like that, he's got to make a decision. Do I sit off him and try and pick him up on the way through, or am I staying with him at the stoppage? So he was with him at the stoppage. He fumbled the football, and that was his mistake. And then you see the Harvey Norman replay screen. He just wanders back to the goal square thinking, I'm going to get back and I'm going to support my teammates. He didn't know that Jeremy Cameron had gone all the way across the other end of the ground. He looks up and he goes, how did he get there? It's just work rate.
For McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks Footy, the Cats get their first goal of this third term and get it back to 10 points, the difference. Ball bouncing around, still inside the centre square. Umpire comes in and calls for it. Nat Unides for Bob Jane Seamarts.
We finally have a result in that tribunal hearing that marathon deliberation, and the suspension has been upheld for Shane McAdam. It's 3 weeks for him.
Probably the right result too. We'll talk about that a bit later. Stengel hoisted around the body. Awkward bouncing ball into the pocket. Rolls end on end on end. Hawkins tried to keep it alive, but that was out of bounds before that. And that's down there for Bob Jane Teamarts. They have great buy 3, get 1 free deals plus instant cash back. You can call or order online today, and of course T's and C's apply.
Cameron tries to run through this stoppage, so Young has to have body on him. He has to at some point stand in front of his run and not allow him to get back onto that left foot through this stoppage.
See Tom Hawkins' eyes light up when it's a boundary throw-in. He knows how dominant he can be. What on the coning for Carlton. The ruckman did a good job on that occasion. Get it out to Mackay. Pretty happy to see that one wander over for a boundary throw-in. Slightly attacking side of the wing for the Cats. On this MCC member side of the MCG. A few wild storms in Melbourne today. A bit of thunder and lightning, and tonight you couldn't get a better still evening. The Koning outworked Blitzarves. That's Tom, sends it to half forward. Bit of a tricky bounce for Tui. Brilliantly done, Mackay. Later, brilliant tackle. Opens the door for Owies. One of the great celebrators, Daisy tells us. And he has had his goal stolen. Charlie Curnow marks it on the line. Bag of 5 coming up for Charlie. But the tackle from Mackay was supreme.
That's what set up the goal, Duke. He was just fast. He was after him like a supreme athlete.
5 goals, Charlie Curnow. Makes note for that. He's kicked his fifth to the punt road end like a supreme athlete. Jerry Mackay. Charlie's got 5. That's all the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The Blues back out to a 16-point lead.
But Tui's not slow, so he's picked the football up and he looked behind him expecting to have some space, but Harry Mackay just mowed him down. And it was great out of the stoppage. So the ruckman de Koning took it out of the ruck. He was up against a secondary ruckman and he realised that, used his body, got the ball moving forward.
Spent the entirety of last off-season doing some speed work over his first 25 metres. So you can see it there. Once he puts the head down on the Jets, improved 0.25 on his 40-metre sprint, which is a fair improvement.
That's why he's the supreme athlete.
We're looking for like a fast animal as an analogy, Nate.
Yeah, I thought you were going to go with
I was thinking of an animal and then I'm like,
Just the scores from turnovers for Red Dead, 6-7 to the Blues, only 2-5 to the Cats.
Thank you, Chu. Just stick to optometry, Nath. That's his strong point tonight. The Durnan bends down, picks it up, wobbles it to De Koning, who slaps it forward. Curnow almost marked top of the goal square. Still fighting hard for it. Try to keep it alive for Owies. That'll be a free kick. The Blues are all over the Cats right now.
And they're just smashing them in the clearances at the moment. I said at half-time, Jack, they were just tougher than the Cats around the clinches. They've got some big players in there. Cripps is doing his job. Kennedy's doing his job. Doherty goes in there at times. So they're just pushing the ball forward at all costs at the moment, and it's really worrying the Cats because then they get the pace on the outside.
Watch for the celebration here too, boys.
It'll be your domain, Daisy. If he kicks the goal, you can talk us through it. 20 out, directly in front to the punt road end. Carlton by 22 points.
They let us down.
And that is as boring a celebration as we've seen from Matt Owies in his 33 games. Just real vanilla stuff. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The Blues 9-10, the Cats 6-6, Daisy. That's a real letdown.
Yeah, it certainly was. I was expecting at least a double jumper grab or at least a double cobra or something. It was very subdued, just a fist pump, a point to the sky. I guess it only was a 15-metre kick directly in front, so you can't go too hard. But a pivotal moment in the game because now that lead just creeps out again. Some real reward for effort for the dominance in and around centre clearance and centre bounce. Just hacking the ball forward, continuing to get it going your way. Territory has become king in this game tonight.
Nat Unides, Bob Jane T-Mart.
We've got another injury concern for the Cats. Sava Radigalia has gone down to the rooms. He was pointing to his hamstring and looked very proppy, so we'll keep you updated.
Starting to unravel a touch here, Nat, for the Cats. They're thrown by 22 points.
Sorry, Duke. They're starting to really miss Tom Stewart and his direction out there. So Kolajasny goes down. You've got Henry out of this side. So they are up against it at the moment in their back end, particularly with how much ball's going in there.
Tom Hawkins just does look underdone, doesn't he? Not moving as freely as he normally would. We understand the limited preparation. The Blues putting the foot down big time. 50-50 ball. Get another good tackle. Mitch McGovern cleaned up Zach Tui, and they are out here. Owies has got it. Back with the flight. Dropped the mark. Time to pick it up. Steps around Jed Buse. Centering kick has been taken, though, by Mark O'Connor at half-back.
This quarter, Dangerfield none. Atkins none. Guthrie only the one.
Nath Brown, Daisy Thomas, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. It's hard work for the Cats right now. 3 goals to 1 in this third term. Carlton have absolutely come to play. And Tanner Bruin goes down low and gets one over the shoulder for a high tackle. The Cats try and springboard off half-back. Holmes on the wing. Broadcast side, wants to get inside, try to arch the back. Akers didn't let him run away. Holmes on the follow-up. Handball to Guthrie was 50-50 at best. Carlton close it down and force the ball up.
Holmes tried to create something that wasn't there. He had Brad close, 50 metres down the track, all out, about 60 metres from home, and he wanted to go back inside through the middle. It just wasn't on.
Blues by 22 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Paddy Cripps' first possession, handed it off to Kennedy, immediately wrapped up in a tackle. Dangerfield involved in that.
This guy's just backing out to the boundary.
It's an half forward for the Cats, who trail by 22 points. Game high lead, that two-man for the Blues.
Spot on, Das.
At the halfway mark of this third term. Jack Bowes, the former Gold Coast son. Talk us through his night, please, two-man.
He's had 13 disposals, 7 intercepts.
50-metre penalty.
Blake, next umpire.
Just listening to the umpire there for a moment. As against Zach Guthrie, a little late with a push in the back. Advances Akers to the forward 50 arc. Punt road end.
He's a big kick, Akers.
Second time he's just decided to casually drop one in a hole.
It's a waste.
Mark's taken by Jeremy Cameron, who's working overtime. Jez, he's had a huge amount of the footy.
Leading ball winner, as Brownie said, for the Cats. 18 disposals coming up, 3 majors.
Gee, a wonky kick coming out of defence. They look tired, the Cats. Kennedy to reload for Carlton. High and long to Coning. Almost. Just couldn't hang on. The job's not done yet for the Cats. They still need to defend. 55 metres out from their goal. Ed Curnow dispossessed. Bowes had his kick smothered. Dangerfield off by hand, and Atkins grubs it up to the wing. Young won his one-on-one. Worked it out beautifully. Here's Cripps. 65 out from goal. Headed for Mackay, no mark taken. De Koning has a fumble. Oh, he stole it away. Couldn't quite burst through. Quick banana comes from Durden. That's a miracle from Durden. Got it lights away, Matt. That is something special. It's Carlton's night right now. 10-10-70. They lead the Cats 6-6-42. When you're on, you're on.
When he kicked that, Daisy, I thought, what's he done here? Surely he centred this ball. He's gone for the banana, and it just kept floating through the air, and it got over the top. But a big win out on centre wing. The Cats won that football. Lewis Young probably had his colours lowered by Jeremy Cameron tonight, but a big one-on-one wing out on the wing. And then he followed up, got the footy, and pinpointed Paddy Cripps out at half forward, which set up that goal. And what a goal it was.
We get a look at it there on the Harvey Norman replay. Didn't even look at him. Just the sense of the small forward, the check side, the low penetrating slider. That'll get you out of your seats.
33 points from turnover in the front half for Carlton tonight. Last week, only 9 for the entire game.
Thank you, Two-Man, with the Red Z lending stats out to 28 points. Guthrie going the other way for the Cats. Can I get a quick reply? They need one badly. Guthrie's missed everything. Out of bounds on the full. So what a night this is turning out to be for the Blues. They've got a lot of the navy blue fans here. Excited. Hawkins a little frustrated, a bit clumsy with the hit around the head. Doherty gets the free kick at half back. Want to go another goal down, Daisy, I wouldn't have thought.
No, and for the Blues, this is where we'll see some real maturity and growth in their own performances. If they can just graft, knock 2 or 3 minutes off the clock, but still go down, take some field position and territory and be able to score themselves, they'll be mighty happy where this is. We've seen in the past with 9 minutes on the clock, if they give up 1 or 2 here, it undoes all their great work. So just a little bit of game sense here from the Blues.
Sorry, Daz, does this go back to what we were talking about at the start of the night about learnings for this group and not making the same mistakes twice?
Yeah, and the thing is, it's still taking territory, taking what the game gives you, not just slowing it down completely, because 8 minutes is too long to hold on to the ball, but just trying to graft something, change the pace of the game at the minute.
Tui on the wing, spun 360, forced a handball away. Atkins tackled immediately. Chera the man this time around. Their pressure game has been spot on tonight.
Both sides have had 9 inside 50s in this third quarter. Carlton 4 goals, 2. The Cats 1 goal.
28-point lead for the Blues. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. So we tick up to 20 minutes played in the third quarter. Pack forms at half forward. It spills through everyone's hands at the back. Stanley defers to Tui. Dangerous kick inboard. Isaac Smith has to kick off the ground and just try and get it moving forward. It fell into the arms of Stengel. He tucks it under the arm and has a bounce. 52 metres out, unselfishly shares over the top. Could have gone himself. Instead drops it off for Henry.
Oh, that's your line.
Gee, they need this.
Call.
20 metres out. Henry off one step. Snaps his second. Cuts it back to 22 points and gives Geelong some much-needed momentum. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Yeah, it certainly does. It was a really poor decision from Lewis Young to come off his direct opponent there as Stengel went through the middle of the ground. He was under chase pressure from Jeremy McGovern. McGovern it was down there chasing him. Mitch McGovern, I should say. He was the one pursuing him. He was taking ground off him. He just needed to stay goal side of Henry out the back, so forcing either Stengel to take another step where McGovern could have closed him down and tackled him. Instead of that, he pressed out, which made just the easy kick over the top in the resulting goal.
Daisy Thomas, Nate Brown, the Triple M Seabus Super special comments here on a Thursday night. Seabus Super making hard work pay off, and really important goal. Henry, he's a likely sort of player for mine. 2 goals in his first game last week for the Cats. Another couple tonight. Good contest coming off the wing. Bowes went hard at it. Kennedy went hard. The Cats are going to prevail here. Getting it back to Stanley. Bit of an up and under type of kick. And Doherty stood underneath it. That's a big mark.
Super mark. He had to shield his eyes at one point, Duke, and the ball just, he knew that players are coming from everywhere, stood underneath it with courage.
What's Sam Doherty's night look like, Stu? Red Z lending?
Yeah, 16 disposals, 320 metres gained.
Off the back of 553 metres gained in round 1. Cripps inside 50. Silvani from third back in the queue. Drop the mark. Abuse. Not a lot to work with up ahead. Hot handball for O'Connor. Guthrie against the boundary line at half back. The kick rolls and rolls and rolls to the advantage of Myers. Members wing here at the MCG to the roars of the Cats fans. Punches it low inside 50. And it's straight onto the chest of McGovern.
That's better.
Transfer kick Nate Brown likes because it's opened up some space. Oliver Holland's second game. He looks comfortable on the big stage. Finds Silvani under the Shane Warnstand side of the MCG. Good mark, Jack Silvani. Taking a bit of time to get the Sharon back, and it's allowed the Cats defenders to roll back. He wants Owies. Got a hand on it. De Koning gracefully took it out of defence. Cam Guthrie wants to get running. Can they build something up here? De Koning's pushed on. He's coughed up the handball though. Newman, he had it stripped out of his hands. Max Holmes and Brian Myers involved in it. Spills to Jesse Motlop. Kennedy going to go short. Tom De Koning takes it in front of the eyes in the Jukes. 40 metres out directly in front. Punt road end. Nice play, Carl.
It's all of a sudden making the right decisions, the Blues, and they're getting a little bit more time he plays on.
God, Zach Fisher, they've just fallen asleep. The Cats defenders allowed Zach Fisher an acre on his own, and he's waltzed in and kicked the easiest goal of his career. That is incredibly un-Geelong-like. You never see that. They fell asleep, gifted a goal to Zach Fisher, and they're back out to a margin of 28 points. That is all on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. The Blues in front, 5 minutes to go in the third term.
Right now, Duke, it's a carbon copy of last week. So Geelong threw everything at the Magpies, and Magpies turned the footy over a bit. They're under pressure. Their tackles were sticking. Their smothers were great, which happened in the first half and the early parts of this quarter. Slowly, every time the Blues get the ball now, there's just that extra little bit of space that they didn't have in the first quarter. So they're running really hard. Even on that occasion, in the middle of the ground, Nick Newman was wrapped up. He had enough time, though, when he was wrapped up to get the ball to his foot and get it forward. That wasn't happening in the first half. They were being wrapped up for a stoppage. Then the Cats get an extra go at it. They go forward. Got caught napping again. Easy goal.
McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy at Macca's. Get 10 chicken McBites for $3. What a one-handed grab. Cats free kick out of the middle. Guthrie from half-back. Kicks long and direct. Stengel had it fall into his hands. Had close driving by. Quick response for the Cats. Close kicks his first, and just like that, it's back to 22 points once again. Geelong 8-6-54. Carlton 11-10-76. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, there's the instant reply. If you're a Cats fan, that's exactly what you needed. Win the ball out of the contest, get it forward, get it long, straight and direct, outnumber, kick the goal. Paddy Cripps, I feel like we say this every week. Every time the Blues need a lift, he seems to be the go-to. Was pretty well held in the second part of that second term, man, but he's been on fire here in the third.
Certainly has. Number one ranked player in this third quarter with 9 disposals and a couple of clearances.
Important goal to Brad Close there. One of 5 Cats that played every game in their premiership year last year. He's almost good for a goal a game. Brad Close, that's his first goal of the evening and an important one. Back to 22 points. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard. Here's Cripps, as Daisy and Chu just told you. He is making this quarter his own. Funny little kick from Doherty, double-handed drop. It's been picked up and wrapped up was Blake Acres on the AFL logo. This Wimbledon side wing. De Koning and Stanley, a little clumsy. Reece Stanley, free kick to Carlton. Advantage paid. Hollins takes it, got a big push in the back. It's got to be a downfield job, has it? No.
As he kicked it, yeah. As he kicked it. Okay.
So they'll come back. Ollie Hollins on his second game at the MCG. Playing his role nicely. Beautiful kick from Saad. Fisher kicked the last goal for the Blues. Gets a lead from Mackay. Got Curnow deep. Got Silvani wanting it. Thought about going to Lockie Cowan and then kicked it into the man on the mark. Got it back. And then that kick is a bit of a dangerous one. Mackay comes out and was he taken high by Blitzarves? Picked up by Ed Curnow. Back to Hollins. Hard-working young second gamer bouncing out of bounds. And it will be thrown in right forward pocket. Punt road end. 11-10-76 Carlton. 8-6-54 Geelong. Triple M Beacon Trade score.
Jack, you up? Thank you.
4 minutes remaining in this third quarter. The Cats find themselves up against it.
Hi, Geelong.
Free kick against Silvani. Will go Stanley's way.
Play on.
They're a long way from home. Deep inside defensive 50. Stanley kicks to a 2-on-1.
Play on.
Blitzarves was outnumbered. Fisher handballed over his shoulder. That'll be a free kick, a little clumsy.
He was a little clumsy. Giving away a couple of easy free kicks here. The Blues, the Cats got a goal from the last free kick they gave up. They need to lock this one in and put pressure on the Cats.
Tui was told to play on. He didn't know about it. His kick across goal's a shocker. Jack Silvani had a fumble. Stanley's handball misses the target. Comedy of errors. Curnow off to Motlop. Now Silvani, right forward pocket. Left foot kick back inside. Travels the required distance and Ed Curnow marks. 35 out, 45-degree angle to put it back to a 28-point lead.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but they kept the ball alive in their forward half of the ground. They put enough pressure on Zach Tui to keep the ball in their half of the ground. And Daisy, you know him better than us. What's he like at a set shot?
It'll be a bit pokey, but it's not pretty, but it's usually effective.
50 goals in 206 games. The most experienced Blue on the ground. Stands up big. Charlie's got 5. Ed kicks his first. Carlton 12-10. Geelong 8-6. Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Great pressure from the Blues, but don't over-celebrate too much. I know they're very happy, but there's a massive 2 minutes 45 to go right now. They've got a handy lead. Every time they've got out to this 28-point lead, the Cats have kicked the goal instantly. So if you're in the leadership group now, you're Paddy Cripps, you're around the football, you're going, boys, we haven't got long to go before three-quarter time. We want to go in with this 5-goal lead, so we need to do everything we can to control the footy, control these last couple of minutes. If we can pinch one, great, but we don't want the Cats to kick one.
Last year, Cats only conceded 9 marks inside their D50. Last week, they conceded 16. Tonight, 14 already, and we haven't even hit three-quarter time.
Thank you, True Man, for that. Triple N Red Z Lending stat. Red Z Lending loans for the self-employed. REDZED.com. No Tom Stewart. Sam de Koning's had his challenges. Reece Stanley's on all fours in a bit of pain down there. Hawkins got over the top of Wiedering. Carlton defenders thought it was off hands, but this is timely again for the Cats. Hawkins can shoot from 40 metres out. Nat, any thoughts on Reece Stanley?
It looks like he might have copped a knee or a leg in that ruck contest. He doesn't look well. He's starting to get up now as we speak. So
Harvey Norman replay up here, Nat. The beauty of it it was a knee from de Koning straight into the midriff there, knocked the wind out of him.
Talk about that in a moment, Daisy. We'll come back to that Harvey Norman replay. Hawkins, you back him in 99 out of 100 from here. Doesn't let you down very often. The Hawk, he nails it straight through his first goal. Thursday night footy, and the Cats have got a great habit of just hanging in there. They bring it back to 22 points. Feels like this game should almost be out of reach. It's definitely not on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Well, you were talking about it, Nath. They didn't want to do that, the Blues, but the Cats, that's twice now. The last 2 goals, centre clearance win, goes down 3 times it is. They've gone down and got the instant reply within 30 seconds. They just have an innate ability to hang around the Cats and give themselves a chance to continue to grind this one out. Only the minute to go, minute 50 in this quarter, but still a long time to go in the context of the entire match.
I don't want to wreck the fun, but I just felt like they over-celebrated Curnow's goal when they went 28 points up. Everybody got to, which is a great feeling, but they had 2 minutes 45 to navigate. Now they've got another minute 53.
From McDonald's and Ream Hot Water, Triple M Rocks footy. Dangerfield comes bursting out of the middle of the MCG. On the lead, Hawkins' kick goes just wide of him. Great pick up from Stengel. Forced a handball to close. Now Hawkins in tight. Gave it off to Myers. He squares it up to Blitzarves. Kennedy drifting back in the hole. Takes a very important mark for the Blues. And now they play the members' side.
Looking for Mackay. Had the height advantage over Guthrie. Guthrie took on the tackle of Newman, and Newman got him cold.
Great tackle. Needs to keep his head in. He's a bit of a hothead, Newman. He's pushing and shoving, and they need this footy up their half of the ground.
Originally a rookie picked up by the Sydney Swans in 2015. Nick Newman had some knee injuries throughout season 2020 and 2021. But the important part of this side, Akers, has just got word from Michael Voss, who's almost about 15 metres away from where Blake Akers is kicking this footy. Standing on the interchange bench, picked up by Fisher. Chance for Paddy Cripps. Look how powerful he is. Almost impossible to tackle. That was a really smart kick. Talk us through that, Daisy. Great composure from Paddy Cripps.
It certainly was. He almost waited for the game to go past him. The sense of urgency from the Geelong Cats was to get back as he was running sort of shoulders out, but the ball sat up. Just had the presence of mind to compose himself, wait for the Cats defenders to roll back, go past him, and then just in a Jared Brennan sort of one-handed motion, holding the footy out, just caressed it across his body. Good enough to fan the young man in Hollands.
Ollie Hollands, the younger brother of Elijah from the Gold Coast Suns. He was pick 11 in last year's draft. I'm a big fan. His second game for his first goal in AFL footy. Ollie Hollands, what's he done with it after that? Missed it. He's exciting. Not happy with himself. 12-11-83. That's Carlton. 9-6-60 Geelong. All on the Triple M Beacon Trade scoreboard.
Play him.
It's three-quarter time, and this one is there for Carlton if they're good enough. All the discussion has been about whether they can win the close ones and whether they can knock off the big names. Here is their chance. They lead by 23 points for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M, Roxwood.
That quarter for Beacon Trade, supporting tradies with over 120 stores, a wide range of lighting and electrical products, and expert trade teams who offer the best services, making every tradie's job easier.
For McDonald's,
Triple M rocks footy.
Head to Macca's for 10 chicken McBites for just $3. What a one-handed grab.
Hi, it's Marty Sheargold from Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show, and right now, Triple M rocks football.
On the radio.
Max, go on. One thing they always say about Scott Pendlebury is because he played basketball.
Don't they?
Look how much time he's got.
There is two stories that always get called out. One is Scott Pendlebury played basketball, and I had a dart on the way to training.
They're the two.
They are the two.
Triple M's Marty Sheargold Show. Weekdays from 6 on Triple M. Get the podcast now from the Listener app.
At Macca's, they know it's important to make your pre-game routine count. And on Triple M's Rush Hour, your pre-game routine could count towards winning you $5,000. Ooh. Tell us your pre-game routine now on the Triple M win page, triplem.com.au.
What about cleaners?
Yep.
Mechanics?
Uh-huh.
Builders?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever hard work you do, Cbus are making your money work as hard as you.
Power workers?
Yep.
Factory workers?
Mm-hmm.
What about truckies?
What do you think?
Cbus Super, making hard work pay off. To consider if Cbus is right for you, go to cbussuper.com.au for a PDS and TMD. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance.
At Coles, we're helping your Easter budget go further on our Coles Hot Cross buns, with 2 for $6 on any of our 3, 6 and 9 bun packs, including our award-winning traditional fruit Hot Cross buns. That's value the Australian way. Offer ends April 25.
Many are doing it tough right now, struggling to make ends meet and get food on the table. But the people that need our help the most are not always the ones you think.
It's families.
And kids.
The elderly.
Those with 1 or even 2 or 3 jobs.
It's people with mortgages.
Those who have just fallen on tough times.
Fortunately, Food Bank is here to help. Help us to help those doing it tough. Donate to Food Bank today to ensure no one goes without. Head to foodbank.org.au.
G'day people, Mick Malloy here. Right now, when you purchase any Energizer Lights product, you can go in the draw to win a hybrid SUV. Grab a torch or headlight for camping or even DIY. Get one of the best lights, brighter lights, get the job done right. The best bit, the first 750 entries will win a double movie pass. And the hybrid SUV will be driven away by one lucky winner. Just purchase any Energizer Lights product, then head to energizerpromo.com to enter. Energizer Lights for longer lasting adventures.
T's and C's apply. See website for details.
It might sound like I'm listening to my daughter shake it up, but in my mind, I'm on the beach, enjoying the sound of waves.
Rather be on holiday? Get there with Jetstar's Air-Mazing sale. There's heaps of destinations to choose from, like Melbourne Tullamarine to Gold Coast from $52, or Bali Denpasar from $209. Ends midnight Eastern Daylight Time, 23rd March unless sold out prior. One way excludes check baggage, selected travel dates and conditions apply. Jetstar. All day, every day low fares. That is amazing.
To celebrate 30 years of Bosch measuring technology, you could win the ultimate Bosch Tools prize pack. See the Triple M win page and tell us how many Bosch tools you can detect in the back of the ute. There's a total of $65,000 in prizes up for grabs. Good luck. T's and C's apply. Australian residents 18 plus only, excluding Northern Territory.
The 2022 Indian Motorcycle Run-Out is on now. Beat the price rise and purchase a new Indian motorcycle while stock remains. Visit your nearest dealership to secure your dream Indian motorcycle. America's first motorcycle company since 1901.
Shut up! The foot is on the radio!
Triple M rocks footy.
This quarter for Titanium Caravans. Tough on and off the field.
It's Carlton with a 23-point lead at three-quarter time for Ream, Hot Water and McDonald's. Triple M rocks footy. 12-11-83 to 9-6-60. Daisy Thomas, Nathan Brown, Triple M Seabus Super Special comments. The Blues have done a lot right tonight.
They certainly have. To this point in the game, they've been brilliant in that third quarter. It felt like it was all on their pressure in and around the ball, and especially in their own forward 50s. Felt like the smalls really got to work. If the big boys weren't marking it, the smalls at ground level were coming in, and it got them to get a lot of turnovers, it felt like, inside the forward half of their own ground, going on the back of that and then scoring.
Yeah, spot on, Daisy. 4 out of their 5 goals from turnover for the Blues were in the front half. They nailed 3 goals inside their attacking 50 only. That is off the charts. 3-1-19 from turnover.
You'd be fascinated to know what Michael Voss is saying right now to his football club. How we're going to play this first 5 minutes. What do we want to do? Do we want to go fast? Do we want to go slow? The one thing that they have done so far really well is put enormous pressure every time the Cats have had the football. They've won the stoppages. I'll be saying that. We need to still win the clearances. Our work around the clearances and that radius of 20 metres, we've owned. Let's own it again in this first 5 minutes.
And the beauty of this is the scoreboard's going to make Geelong play fast as well, so we're set for an entertaining final term in this one.
Nat Yannides down there for Bob Jane T-Marts. Buy 3, get 1 free deals plus instant cash back. Call or order online today. T's and C's apply. Nat?
No major injuries for either team at this stage, which is great news, although Sam De Koning has been in the wars. It does look like Geelong may have made their sub. Reece Stanley has gone to the back of the players' box. He copped a knee to the ribs late in that third term. So I think that perhaps Geelong have made their sub, just waiting on confirmation. Carlton have not made their sub yet. Lockie O'Brien is their sub.
I was going to make a comment on that just before we saw that Harvey Norman replay of Tom De Koning. It's a trend we see ruckman now go to the centre bounce and not actually jump, but just smash your knee without getting off the ground in opposition ruckman. It's a disconcerting thing because you're expecting that less power going through the air.
You'd imagine that'd be looked at. From what we saw there, it looked like just a flying knee to the midriff.
Non-controlling umpire should be looking at it.
If you took that in isolation, I totally agree with you, Daisy. Underway in the last quarter, the Blues by 23 points. Paddy Cripps, no surprise that he put his body on the line. Taken away, though, by Dangerfield. Bounces in the direction of Stengel. Brilliant pickup. Puts a couple of dance moves on Sard. Got past him. Sard gets back up. Stengel, brilliant. Outstanding to Jeremy Cameron. And the 2 All-Australians from last year combine. Jezza can shoot from 52 metres out.
Some sort of shimmy, wasn't it?
Did it
from
with his
Stengel.
pants off.
And he's had Sard on his hammer, who's electric quick, but just one way, then the other. Felt the pressure come to him, and then he just felt Sard slip off and was good enough to finish.
Playing some sort of game, Jeremy Cameron. Going for goal number 4. He's been leading the disposals for the Cats. His work rate's been unbelievable. His finishing has been supreme, and he's been able to get that one to work left to right. 4 goals, Jeremy Cameron. The Cats remarkably are right in this game. 10-6-66. They trail Carlton 12-8-83. And that is a margin of just 17 points, all brought to you thanks to Triple M. And our scoreboard for this quarter is Titanium Caravans. Great to have them on board. Titanium Caravans, tough on and off the field.
Well, on the back of another centre clearance there, and it was Paddy Dangerfield, the Cats skipper, newly appointed, went in there, had a quiet third term. He's the one who looks like he wants to impose himself on this one. It's going to be a good effort too, because you've got De Koning now going up in the ruck against Blitzarves it is. So the Blues are certainly going to have ascendancy in that area, forcing the Cats just to go man on man. Can't be running too many patterns in there.
Nat, for Bob Jane T-Marts, both subs have been activated.
Yeah, so Carlton has just activated their sub. Lockie O'Brien is in the game, and Jack Silvani's come off. Looks like it's tactical at this stage. No treatment for him. Good
luck to Cooper White as well, as we mentioned. On debut for the Cats. Pick number 64 in the 2021 draft. Two-man for Red Z Lenning. Hit us with Jeremy Cameron's full deck of numbers for tonight.
19 disposals, equal leading ball winner for the Cats, along with 4 majors and 500 metres gained.
Holmes breaks away from the stoppage. High ball inside the Cats forward 50. No mark for Lewis Young. Rowan just did enough to impact the contest, and Tui is taken to the boundary line, 60 metres out from goal. Geelong trail by 17 points.
Mark.
Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. So we see Tom Stewart watching on. Expected to be missing for at least 3 to 4 weeks. No Jake Kolajasny, no Sam Menegola, no Jack Henry or Mitch Duncan tonight for Geelong. Wobbly ball inside their attacking area. Stengel gathers, squares it up to the goal square, close. Couldn't mark. The Blues kill the footy and get it through for a rush behind.
Lucky Cowan, second gamer, important getting back there as well. That kick from full back, Mitch McGovern, that is not the man you want to pick out. Straight down the throat of Jeremy Cameron. He can go back and slot his fifth. And
Can have a brain fade.
Wow.
Can have a brain fade, Mitch McGovern, but this is gifting Jeremy Cameron a goal, and it's gifting the Cats back into this game.
Any quirk that he's got, Jeremy Cameron, where he
pushes the footy, yeah.
It's the Sharon sideways and just tests the air, Daisy.
Looks like a beautiful Sharon as well, that one.
I'm pretty happy with it. I'd be pretty happy if he gets goal number 5. A little bit close to the man on the mark there, Jezza. No problems at all. He points up to the stand and says, I've got 5. I'm that good. I'm going to single-handedly get my side back into the contest. They're back to just 10 points to the Cats. They've kicked the last 3 goals in the game, the first 2 of the final quarter. Game on here, big time on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard.
Well, Nate, you can keep a close eye on Mitch McGovern from this point on, because last Thursday night he had a few moments late in the game in that defensive end where he was a touch nervy. Probably not the time to be trying to bite off a 45 kick. If you are going to hit it there, you need to certainly find the man. He wasn't good enough on that occasion. Now, just for the Blues, does a little bit of doubt start to creep in? They went pretty hard on the celebration when Ed Curnow kicked his goal. Centre bounce now, centre clearance becomes hugely important.
The last 3 since that Ed Curnow goal.
Biggest lead in the game, Stu, for Carlton was?
Yeah, Triple M Red said 28 points, 7-8 into the third.
And it's back to 10, the difference now for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Clearance win for the Blues. Chera drives up to half forward. The tackle by Durden. Makes sure that Cam Guthrie doesn't get out. The umpire calls for it. It's 60 metres away from goal. Tanner Bruin back onto the ground and paddled it towards Myers. Slaps it into the middle of the MCG. A tired Lewis Young bends over and picks it up. Doherty was bumped as he kicked. 2-on-1 on the wing. Chera would be happy to get this to the boundary line. It's not a bad result.
So with Stanley going off, it's forced Blixarves to do a fair bit of the ruck work, and they've identified that Paddy Cripps was wonderful in the last quarter, so Atkins is now doing the full lockdown, which Blixarves was doing. Job goes to Atkins on Cripps.
10-point lead to the Blues, falling over Tom DeConing. At the back, Myers. Good tackle, Newman applied on him. Getting the handball through with Dirt, and the Blues go forward. Defensive effort from Guthrie, couldn't complete the mark. His brother Cam picks it up, sends it back from where it came. Running onto it, Newman, paddling it towards the boundary line. Myers gives chase, Newman, clean possession. Ollie Hollins dumped in a strong Atkins tackle. Right in front of Nat Yanidi's ground level. And the interchange race on this members wing. Plenty of time left in this last quarter.
When he tackles, they stick Tom Atkins. 6th in the competition last year in that stat. Hughes marks the high ball on the wing.
Go with him.
The Blues have seen their lead dwindle from 28 points to now just 10. Geelong with a bit of momentum. They've kicked the first 2 goals of the last quarter. Zach Guthrie has his brother Cam driving by next to the centre circle. Long kick out to half forward. Tui eased under the football. That's 60 metres away from the Cats' goal. Tui did his own Jared Brennan impersonation. Picked it up with one hand. Jeremy Cameron's kick smothered. But he's had the footy on a string tonight. Ran a long way and then drills a pass to Holmes. Gave a handball back to Cameron. That kick not his best one. Fumble from Akers. 50 out from Carlton's goal. McGovern this time has to turn around the corner and just hack it away and try and clear it out.
Game's gone up a couple of notches. Jeremy Cameron got the wind taken out of himself after he mucked up that kick. The mark's been taken by Akers.
They're under enormous pressure at the moment, the Blues. So they're now the ones, even though they had all the run in the third quarter, they're the ones that need to slow the game down. They need the ball in their hands. They now need to make Geelong defend for the next 2 or 3 minutes and get this game and suck Geelong's life out of it.
They've gone from Shane Moreland's stand side to the MCC members with a succession of kicks. That's hung in the air a long time. Durden bounced off his chest, ricocheted to Henry, picked up by Ed Curnow. Dockett, his hands were good. Back to Ed Curnow. The short one's okay. Corey Durden's got it. Taking some time, as Nate Brown suggested they should. Charlie Curnow's down there, pitting it. Sam DeConing nearly took the defensive mark over the top. Paddy Cripps, too strong. Out to Curnow. He's going for goal number 6. Bending it, just couldn't get the fade going. Minor score 12-12 to 11-7. Carlton by 11 points on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravans are tough on and off the field.
Cam Guthrie,
10% game time in the forward half this quarter, the Blues.
Just going to say, Nate, Cam Guthrie gone to full-back or the half-back line, trying to get some run, trying to get some more double-up ball use in that half-back line for the Cats.
Nath Brown, Daisy Thomas, Triple M Seabus Super special comments. Seabus Super making hard work pay off. Cats up to half forward. Blitzarves kicks to a 3-on-2. Cameron almost close. Tapped it down to Cameron. Got a boot on it. It rolls and rolls and rolls. McGovern saves a goal. It gets one back from earlier.
Great tackle by McGovern. He's given one up. He's made a couple of mistakes tonight, but that was a great run-down tackle.
Still heaps of time left. 14 minutes in this last quarter. 10-point ball game.
The Blues can't hang on, Duke. They need to score.
Two-man estimated crowd of 50,000. Sure, I suggested more like 60. Do you want to have another go? Or you?
I reckon I am slightly unders, in fact, significantly.
Cam Guthrie to half forward. Mitch McGovern nearly completed the mark. Now a ground ball. Bowes in the Dangerfield kamikaze attack on the ball, as he so often does. Ed Curnow's been strong two-man. Talk us through his night.
Yeah, he's had 19 touches, a major.
Back to Zach Fish. That's a beautiful kick. Right into the lap of Charlie Curnow here on the members' side wing.
5 goals, 2 is his night. Short to Ed Curnow. Fisher continues to follow up and run. Broadcast side. He's picked off. Guthrie a bit too big, a bit too strong for Motlop. It's a 10-point lead to the Blues. But the Cats are coming on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Cam Guthrie instructed to play on. Rowan flew uncontested. Didn't lay a glove on it. Hawkins picks up the loose ball. Left half forward. Bangs long. Stengel had his back to the play. Drifting back, Blake Acres takes a great grab.
He's been super tonight, Acres. He went off his opponent, which was Stengel at ground level, which is always dangerous. He had to mark it, and he did.
A bit of a forgettable moment near the final siren in round 1, Blake Acres. That was a super strong mark.
Good
Brandon
kick.
Call. Beautiful kick too. Down the Shane Warne stand wing. Free kick going Carlton's way. They've got some numbers streaming forward. Harry Mackay, ball in hand. Carlton defenders get back and close the gaps.
So the Koning's just standing in the hole at the moment. They need to work their way through this, the Blues.
Ed Curnow's had a bit of a shocker there. It was a little 15-metre, just a caress kick that he overkicked out of bounds on the full. Blues now got to work hard defensively because Zach Tui's got it. They're trying to apply some pressure. Cam Guthrie across the face of goal. And this is the debutant, Cooper White. Ball in hand. First game for the Cats. It's his first kick, two-man.
Spot on.
He's got it just off the side of the boot, out of bounds. Brought under Cooper White. Had some trouble with injury last year. Started as the sub, and great to see him out there tonight for the Cats.
A local boy from the Geelong Falcons. Nat Unides, boundary side.
Just keeping an eye on Jeremy Cameron. He got cleaned up in a contest a couple of minutes ago, and he's been in a lot of pain. He's been down on his haunches, sucking in the big ones. It just doesn't look right. He is staying out there. He's brushed off the trainer, but we'll just keep an eye on him.
Nicely done that for Bob Jane T-Mutts. Carlton by 10 points. Blitzarves had his kick smothered at half-back. Newman has a fumble. Had his space closed down. Tanner Bruin lays a tackle. Ball ricochets around Kennedy. bangs it forward to a loose man. Oh, he's standing all there on his own. Will line up from 45 out directly in front to kick his third.
The great celebrator's back.
I guarantee you he'll give this one a lot more than 15 out directly in front if he kicks this. A real systematic breakdown there from the Cats in defence. O'Connor came up to the back of the stoppage following in Motlop. There was no cascade from behind. That's the reason Owies was found in a paddock of space.
And the Cats have kicked the only 2 goals of the quarter so far. Owies has 3. Carlton have some breathing room. 16-point lead on the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. 13 minutes gone on the final quarter.
And the Cats have owned 12 of those 13 minutes in this last quarter. And it just felt like in the last couple of minutes, maybe the minute and a half, Carlton started to win some big one-on-ones around that stoppage area. Kennedy was huge a couple of times. Cripps has been massive in the last minute and a half. Akers wins a big one-on-one, going back with the flight to mark the footy. The Cats have been coming hard, but all of a sudden, the Blues have now steadied. They've got the goal. But this is the most important part. This is where the Blues have let themselves down all night. They get a handy lead, they get the goal, and they relax. Geelong get one back immediately. It's been the last 3 centre bounces after Blues goal. The Cats have kicked one within 30 seconds.
Daisy and Nate, Triple M C-Bus Supers all over it tonight. Port centre bounce, Gerard well tackled, Dangerfield got him. Off the line, Jack Bowes in his first game's had some nice moments. Worked a little 1-2 with Danger, and then to close. Cats have got a great habit of kicking the next goal to keep the minute. Jeremy Cameron streaming out. Kick was good. What about Ollie Hollins with courage? Just his second game. Lot to like about him. Hughes gets back, keeps it alive. Cats desperate to score the next one, and Hughes has overcooked the kick out of bounds on the 4. What do you think of Ollie Hollins, Daisy?
Absolutely brilliant there. There's times in this game where you just have to go. You're not sure what's coming the other way. You expect contact in only his second game. The moment was called for, and he was good enough to stand up and answer.
Pick number 11 in last year's draft. Showed great courage under fire. Long kick up the line. Designed for Charlie Curnow. No mark taken. Bowes dispossessed. The kick falls back to the waiting arms of Mark O'Connor. Right half back in possession for the Cats, who trail by 16 points. So we tick up to 15 minutes gone in the last quarter.
Push out.
Yeah, Cats free kick for a push, and they take the advantage. Myers, 55 out from goal, hemmed in the pocket. Smart kick to a dangerous area. The Blues stand up defensively and knock it out of play 15 metres out from the Cats' goal. Punt road end.
Nat Unides was all over Jeremy Cameron. Looks like he's got some serious pain coming from his rib area there. Every time he exerts himself on a contest, wincing, folding up like a deck chair.
Boundary throw in, deep in attack. The Cats, Hawkins trying his normal party trick just to clean possession from the ruck. Myers around the body. Goldwood, Gary Rowan on the line over his head through for a minor score. So Carlton 13-12-90. Geelong are 11-9-75, 15-point lead to the Blues in the Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Titanium Caravan's tough on and off the field. We've got 9 minutes 17 left. Plenty of time left for the Cats if they're good enough.
Cam Guthrie's last quarter, two-man, Red Z lending if you could.
Yeah, Triple M, Red Z, yeah, Cam Guthrie, 8 disposals, 21 for the game.
Akers marks the kick in. Stops and props, goes to Cowan.
So this is where the Blues need to understand they're going slow, so there's no use calling for a large switch. Sacrifice your numbers at this next contest down the line.
And Tasmanian looks long. Blitzarves couldn't mark. Chera's hands were quick. And he'll be holding the ball. Durden ducked back into traffic and didn't make a genuine attempt to get rid of it. The Cats free kick on the wing with Holmes.
Move it on, play on.
He's told to play on and does. There's a couple of options in the middle, one of them to Koning. And now Cam Guthrie on the wraparound. His kick short, intercepted by Sard for the Blues.
That's brilliantly done from Sard. Lockie O'Brien spreads hard to the outer wing. Shane Warren stands side. Started as the sub. Nice play here, the Blues. Durden's worked really hard. Got to 50, just out of his range. Tom DeConey in the goal square. Short to Charlie Curnow. Sam DeConey, brilliant. Clever defence. Good enough to get a fist in at the right time, Nate Brown.
It was brilliant. I thought he could have pulled the trigger down to the goal square. He had the one-on-one with De Koning and also his opponent in the goal square, but just went for the short one to the 50-50.
8 minutes remaining in this game for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M Rocks footy. Tom De Koning. Ed Curnow. Super impressive again tonight. Very consistent. Works super hard. Knee and hamstring issues last year for Ed. He's now a rookie-listed player, but gives his heart and soul, Jack, every week.
He certainly does. Did a great job in the fourth quarter last week against Dion Prestia. Tonight, more of a ball winner. Bows off the back of the stoppage, bangs it on the boot, and it rolls to the outer side wing. Pitnet tried to tap it to the advantage of Wiedering, but missed him altogether. It'll be a boundary throw-in.
Big win out for the Cats. They'll set up really well behind the footy there, the Blues. Just too clever by half by Pitnet. I'd rather see him take it, take the contact, and then give the handball rather than trying to tap it on.
2-1 in this last quarter. Geelong's favour. They still trail by 15 points. Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Pack forming around this one on the outer side. Umpire lets it go. Dangerfield on hands and knees. Forces it out. Blitzarv's tackled by Hollins. Umpire comes in and calls for it.
We're just touching on Ed Curnow. He's the number one ranked player in this quarter as well. He's racked up 8 disposals, but his game stats 24 touches and 8 clearances.
Thank you, true man. Triple M Reds Head lending stats. Holmes was good. Got it to Dangerfield, tracking the boundary line. Kicks it long, the Jeremy Cameron direction. It just looks a little sore. As Daisy and Nat have pointed out, offhands out of bounds, right forward pocket. And he has been outstanding, Jeremy Cameron. 5 goals. How many touches, true man?
Yeah, 24, leading ball winner for the Cats.
So 15-point lead. The Navy Blues have got 7 minutes remaining in this game. The Cats in attack. Can they pinch one here? Hawkins again for the boundary throw-in. Kennedy dropped it. Atkins appealing for holding the ball. Umpire letting it go. Socket off the ground. They gain about 35 metres. Is it sufficient intent to keep it in? No, it's not. Cam Guthrie all over it. The Cats are going to send it back.
He swooped in quick, didn't he? He knew he was a chance. Wastes no time and loads up long. Hawkins outnumbered 3-1. Couldn't really get a jump at it. But it's not out of the danger zone just yet. Henry's handball chopped off. Atkins on hands and knees. Myers gave a handball to Hawkins. Lucks of fortune. His quick snap towards goal. Didn't get it with great contact, but it does find Jack Bowes 15 out, almost directly in front.
It's one of those ones, the long ball came in. There was 3 Carlton defenders there. They needed to clear the area and get it out of bounds. It was just a soft spoil that felt the feet of everybody and should have been a boundary throw-in.
6 seasons as a Gold Coast son. His first game as a Cat tonight. He's missed and has barely snuck it through for a point. That is a total shank from Jack Bowes with 6 minutes to go. Big moment in the game, Das.
Last time the Cats, Jack, was 0-2 to start the season was back in 2015. So they are staring down that little stat with 6 minutes to go. Great mark from Mackay. Half-back, pushed up in front of Radaglia. Back to Sard.
It's too early to start doing this. Still got 6 minutes to go.
Doherty shares it with Young. Half-back releases it to the running bounce specialist Sard, who decides to go a barrel. So that is a little bit strange, that play. They're going slow, and then the running barrel was an interesting choice. Going to come back, break close, gets it to Myers. Can they get a goal here? Jeremy Cameron's got it. That will make them a bit nervous if this one goes through from Jezza. He's in the right forward pocket, about 35 plus metres. So the left foot snaps on the go here, Daisy.
Yeah, it certainly is. He'll run around. A very good exponent of it. He's a touch sore, as he's mentioned, so we'll take his best at this point in the game.
Jeremy Cameron, unbelievable individual performance here at the MCG tonight. Can he get Golden Hump to 6? Look how good he kicked that. You can't strike a Sharon much better. Jez has got 6 at the MCG. We're back to just an 8-point ball game, 4:51 on the clock. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. Nate.
You called it beautifully, Jukes. You got 6 minutes to go. They go backwards instead of forwards. So the ball's still in the Cats' half of the ground, and They're chipping it around. The only thing that can happen there is you make a mistake, either by foot or by hand, somebody drops the mark, or somebody has a brain explosion and they just take off and they just go fast play. So they played slow play for 40 seconds and then all of a sudden, I'm under pressure, I'm just going to run. I've got no one to kick it to, I'm going to try and kick a barrel from half back. You couldn't have mucked that up anymore if you were Sard. He owes them one.
The ground was so spread there because there was no method to it, so every player thought they were a chance on offence from the Blues. As soon as it's turned over, that's why there were so many holes for the Cats to go back and counter through.
The McDonald's and Ream hot water built tough for Aussie conditions when it comes to water heating. Ask your plumber to install a Ream. Triple M Rocks footy as the Blues come away out of the middle through Chera. Zach Guthrie wins the one-on-one with Motlop. Drives up the wing. There's Sard.
Well done.
A bit of payback for the previous error. And then kicks to the right spot. Curnow underneath. No mark taken. Tui couldn't impact the contest. Zach Guthrie picks it up. Has Holmes. And here's the chance for the Cats.
They are looking to go right through the middle. Isaac Smith. He just keeps on running and running. The oldest ever Norm Smith medal winner straight down the corridor. Beautiful kick to Rowan. 4 minutes 10 remaining. Cats trail by 8 points. Rowan, long high ball. Stengel close down there. Bodies come from everywhere. Jez is looking for goal number 7. Lewis Young picks it up as he's genuinely trying to get it out. Oh, nervous moments for Blues fans. Wiedering wants them all to come back. Going to be thrown up right on the goal square.
He might have just got away with one then, Lewis Young. Right end of town for the Cats. Hollands, quick by hand to Akers. He kicks on the left foot. Cats are set up behind the ball. Isaac Smith marks and quickly puts it onto the chest of Rowan, who will line up from 52 metres out, 45-degree angle. And if he kicks truly, it'll be a 2-point game.
One of the best set shots of the competition too, Gary Rowan. He'd be fresh, hasn't done a lot tonight. He kicked the goal in the first quarter, but he normally nails these.
14-6 last season. It'll take his absolute best. It won't score. It's still a chance for Geelong. De Koning stands up under pressure for the Blues. And 50. So the Cats miss their opportunity, and the Blues get Marnes to the middle of the MCG with an 8-point lead in their back pocket. 3:10 to play.
Thing is, they've got a lot of players sideways at the moment, the Blues. I'd like to get them more forward so they can get the ball in their half of the ground and be a chance to score. They get the next goal, they win the Blues, but so many players are sideways.
So under 3 minutes remaining in the game, 8-point lead to the Blues. Akers has got it right in front of the Triple M commentary box. Members side, long down the line. Curnow, great contest. Zach Guthrie desperate to keep it in, but he's been edged over the line by Kennedy.
So this is a stoppage where you hope your structures are standing up. You look to your leaders. You look for Paddy Cripps and you look to Kennedy. For the Cats, you're hoping Dangerfield gets this football. He's the main man in there. You've got a couple of young players with him. You'd be looking for Dangerfield.
Michael Voss just screaming instructions. The play's right in front of him. He's coaching from the interchange bench. That's a throw out from Paddy Cripps. Umpire let it go. Up and under from Dangerfield. Can they get a contested mark? Rowan, back there, Charlie Curnow. Wow, that looked like a mark every day of the week. Play on's the call. Brilliantly done. Tanner Bruin. The spinning move was superb, but he's mucked the kick up. Out of bounds on the fall. And the Blues will take their time now in defence.
Cherub come off with the blood rule. Got split open in that contest with Tanner Bruin. That was a brilliant spin.
He's been split wide open. Sorry, Brennan.
I thought it was a mark to Charlie Curnow, and they would have wound down the clock.
McGovern was that got the hand in there to spoil it, unfortunately, for the Blues.
So Newman out of defence for Carlton. 2:13 remaining. Harry Mackay presents. Marks on the members' wing. 8-point lead. 2 minutes remaining. Carlton needs to be cool. Sard long. Mackay's got it again.
Brilliant by Mackay. He got up the ground. He took a big mark to get him out of trouble. And then he sprinted all the way down to half forward. Came back up. His opponent was sitting behind the football, hoping that the ball got out the back.
It sucks another 25 seconds off the clock. Into the pocket he goes. Radagalia, intercept mark. It's time now for the Cats to go.
They have to go right through the middle. Isaac Smith, 4-time premiership player, knows exactly the scenario. Bites one off through the corridor, landed in the lap it close. Good handball to Dangerfield. Bends it around the corner. Hawkins going the wrong way. Wiedering read it really well, and he wants the boundary line, and he finds it. And what's the decision? Boundary throw in, Cats fans.
Brilliant by Wiedering. Brilliant by Wiedering, Duke. You said Hawkins is going the right way because it looked like the bounce was going to carry. Wiedering had a look. He took a chance. He went back at the football and attacked it. That was a big play by Wiedering.
Blues have got Curnow behind the footy for some surety as well.
A minute 15 remaining. Triple M Titanium Caravan scoreboard. 8-point lead to Carlton. Ball in dispute, members wing. Atkins taken towards the boundary line. Fisher pushed off it for Carlton. Tired bodies out there for both teams. Curnow just wills it forward for the Blues. Mackay tried to shield Radagalia away from it. Isaac Smith gathers back to Radagalia. He runs out of space. Ball trickles over the line. Clock stops, 48 seconds remaining.
Harry Mackay's last 3 minutes have been outstanding. Hasn't had the biggest night in the world, Harry Mackay, but the last 3 minutes of work rate, just putting himself in the right position for his team, has been A1, particularly with his mate Curnow being behind the footy.
It'll take something special from here. The Cats, they got a chance too. Jack Bowes, first game for Geelong. Can he get it to Cameron? Oh, Lewis Young! Contested mark. Outpointed Jeremy Cameron. He was superb. He was Carlton's best player in round one. For mine, got the 6 coaches' votes. Had 20 disposals in round one, and that was a big moment in the game, Daisy.
I reckon that's the match winner.
Yeah, certainly. Now the Blues need to get over. They've still got the ground so spread. Get across to one side so you can get numbers at this contest.
Roll Charlie Curnow back into defence. Mackay stands up again. So the two big boys, Charlie celebrating back at full-back. Harry Mackay's taking contested marks everywhere. And have a listen to the Carlton fans. A draw in round one against the Tigers. They've knocked off the reigning premiers in round two, and the Carlton Army are out of their seats. 55,861. That's closer to 60,000 chew than 50 at the MCG. It's the Blues by 8 points.
What a result. So much discussion during the week about the Blues and letting one slip in round one. In round two, there were stages in this last quarter where it looked a little shaky, but they rallied and held their nerve.
Yeah, they certainly did, and there was real growth out there. When the big moments presented, they were able to capture them and just really roll with it, embrace the big moment rather than shying away from it. What a great response after gassing it last week in a game they arguably should have won. They came up big time in this one as we go down to Sard with Abby Holmes, courtesy of 7.
Easy to come out and perform the way that you just have.
Yeah, obviously last weekend the draw was a bit numb, but I felt like we played our way for 4 quarter consistent effort, so it was amazing to get the win.
What were the learnings from last week that you really wanted to bring into round 2 against the Cats?
It's just the contested ball, the pressure, getting at them, and being really composed in like the dying stages of the game. So I felt we did that really well today.
You get a pretty good view of your forward structure when you're streaming out of half back, but Charlie Curnow popping up with 5, Harry Mackay late in this game here, but always with 3 as well. Just the cohesiveness and connection between all lines tonight was very impressive.
Yeah, they've been awesome all pre-season. Like we said, we're building the synergy. As soon as you look up and see Harry, you see Charlie, and you see all the smalls on the floor. So we're really happy just to get it down there and hopefully kick a winning score.
And you've just kicked off Ramadan as well, so?
Yeah, Ramadan Kareem to all the Muslims around the world. May it be a blessed month for you and your family. It's the most amazing month. It's a month of reflection, month of forgiveness, and I love the month. I love playing during the month, so it's amazing.
Well done, Sadi. Congratulations. Go and enjoy.
Played a big role in the win, Adam Sard.
He did. He had a big role on Stengel as well. Harry Mackay's last 3 minutes were outstanding. So Michael Voss pulled the move and he put Curnow back behind the football to try and save the game, which he did a great job. He took a couple of good marks and he looked sure back there, but that meant that Mackay had to come up out of the 50-metre arc and do some really hard work, some big moments, took a couple of big marks. He laid a big tackle out here by the bound. Wasn't his best night, but I thought the last 3 minutes was a big factor of why they got over the line.
Absolutely, and often you can be critical of a man who goes backwards with about 40 seconds to go, but it was smart. He went backwards to Saad, who's the kicker, realising that he was the one that needed to be in that next contest as some representation down the line, and he was there. He went there and took the big mark. Absolutely brilliant.
Charlie Curnow, Harry Mackay chatting to Abby, courtesy of Channel 7.
H taking some plunks, sealing the deal, so glad I had him on the other end of him, so well done, H.
And for you?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I thought we were tough all night. Thought Charlie was awesome. He's followed on like last year and he's playing some amazing footy, and all the forwards, to be fair, Dirds, Matty Always, Mott, Sauce, Fish. It's really fun playing with those boys, and Charlie's leading the way really well.
Big raps for each other, that's good in partnership inside 50, but what's running through your mind in the dying moments, because you popped up with some really clutch marks late?
We talk about all week just playing your role and knowing your role late, and it's the ordinary, not the extraordinary, that gets it done late, so all of us are just trying to play a role, and we know what to do in those dying minutes, and we did it pretty well.
5 for you, Charlie. Got to be happy with that, don't you?
Yeah, no, it's great. It's a great win. Sorry, I didn't hear what were you guys talking about?
Just saying you kicked 5, you got to be happy with that.
Yeah, no, it was great. But, it was an awesome experience. So having the Blues out here again was awesome, and the fans are great. We've got our families up there. It's a good night, so yeah.
So many contributors across the board. Cripper in that third quarter was unbelievable, but with 160-odd games between you two, I want to ask you about Ollie Hollands, second gamer. How impressive has he been since he arrived at the footy club?
Who was it?
Ollie Hollands.
Ollie Hollands, yeah. Ollie's fantastic. The way he goes back with a fight and puts his head in the hole, he's done it all summer. It was really annoying playing against him, Charlie and I, so he's backed it up. Fantastic kid, and really proud of him.
What about Cripps as well, and just his leadership, the way that he was able to just attack the footy head on as he does each and every week, but in that third quarter in particular?
Cripper kind of hit the nail on the head last week. We didn't play the last quarter we wanted to, and we went forward and had a few meetings, discussed what we wanted to do, and look what the situation brings in the last quarter there, and the boys played the footy the way we wanted to and trying to seal the game. So
big win, guys. Go and enjoy. Well done.
Thanks, Abby.
Abby Holmes chatting there to Charlie Curnow and listeners' very own Harry Mackay. Charlie Curnow now has 8 goals in the first 2 weeks on the back of winning last year's Coleman medal.
Which is incredible considering he hasn't actually played that well in both of the games. He was obviously hitting the scoreboard, but in terms of complete domination, in terms of impact throughout the game, he's popping up here and there and hitting the scoreboard, but he hasn't been dominant like we've seen him in the past.
It's a Triple M Amy review. Who covers clangers on and off the field? Amy does. What does it do for a group like Carlton, Brownie, who are on the cusp of playing finals, that aspiring to be there in September? They've been close. There's a lot of discussion about them. They're still young. They've just beaten the reigning premiers, as Dar said.
It just confirms what they're doing. It confirms that what we are doing is actually working, because there would have been some doubts. They played great footy last year, but there'd be doubts the way they ended. There'd be doubts the fact they didn't go to the line last week, and the Cats came hard at them, and all of a sudden they go in tonight. They can sing the song, and they can take a big deep breath and go, we actually did it tonight. We actually took a step forward in our football club, and you can look around at all your teammates, and everybody had their moments, and everybody had some good moments, everybody had some poor moments tonight, but together they got the job done against one hell of an outfit that came at them hard. So they didn't do it the easy way in the last quarter of the Blues. They had to fight and do it really hard. The Cats came and came again, but they just stood up.
One win can open up so many opportunities. So the next 3, they've got the Giants on Saturday twilight, which they, even though it's in GWS, they should probably start as favourites. North Melbourne on Good Friday, and then the Adelaide Crows as part of Gather Round. It's possible that they string 4 in a row here and they look in good shape after 5 rounds.
Yeah, I think every Carlton supporter in the car and listening at home will be sitting there saying, let's not look too far ahead. Let's just keep ticking them off 1 week at a time, the old adage. The GWS game and that fixture up there isn't one that's been great to them in the past, so they need to go, they need to regroup, they need to focus and just start systematically ticking these wins off along the board. As you say, they are games they should be going on and winning. As we saw to the back end of last year, that doesn't necessarily mean that they just rock up and expect it. You have to go out there and give it your all for the 4 quarters, take the opposition down, get the win and move on. But it's been a pretty impressive start. A game last week they arguably could have won, but then to back up tonight, put the learnings from that into place, and then to walk away with the 4 points against the Cats, who were mighty gallant.
So the Blues are heading down into the rooms. We'll have the song, and very shortly Nat will have Charlie Curnow joining us on Triple M Footy as well. Head to Macca's for 10 chicken McBites for just $3. What a one-handed grab. Blake Acres has made a pretty good start to life as a Blue as well.
Yeah, he was good last week, and he was really good again tonight. Some big marks. I thought in the first half when the Blues butchered the footy, he was one player that used it quite well. 26 disposals, and he's gone at 81%, so that tells you about the story.
Nats down in the rooms. They look pretty happy.
Yeah, they're pretty excited, as you can imagine. Of course, first win for the season after that draw last week. They're just getting ready to sing the song. The Gatorade is out for those three boys that have won their first game for the Blues. Let's have a listen to this song as I get absolutely obliterated by lemon-flavoured Powerade.
A win and a draw to start 2023 for the Blues. Charlie Curnow, as we said, to join us in just a moment. Let's jump into our Macca's I'm Loving It moment. It was Corey Durden in the third quarter with a slice of magic. Here's Cripps, 65 out from goal. Headed for Mackay, no mark taken. De Koning has a fumble. Oh, he stole it away. Couldn't quite burst through. Quick banana comes from Durden. It's a miracle from Durden. Got it on the boot. Barely daylight to aim at. That is something special. It's Carlton's night right now. I think that's goal of the week.
It was pretty impressive.
Considering we've had one game, it's the leading contender so far.
Pretty happy with yourself, aren't you?
The Gary Roll one was also pretty good at the start of the game, but I think that one probably surpasses it. That was a big moment, an absolute brilliancy. I didn't even look at it, just picked it up on Nouse, hit the check side low and hard. It was a beautiful piece of craft from a small forward.
Great call from Jack. Nailed it. It was classy, wasn't it? And there were some moments with the Blues where you think their best is going to be pretty challenging, isn't it? If you can get that Curnow and Mackay combination at its peak, and I really love what Jack Silvani does in that mix as well. He's a different look. He can extend and take marks overhead. With that forward line functioning like that, Brownie, that's huge upside for me when you look at Carlton playing well.
Absolutely. Their smaller players tonight were really good. I thought Motlop had his moments, Owies and Durden. A couple of times, even the goal, I think it was Owies kicked in the last quarter. Chris got to be sitting there going, how did that happen? How did he get on his own so much from a stoppage, 40 metres on his own? Fisher on his own, 20 metres out from goal in the third term. So there's some questions now for Chris Scott to say, well, they got 2 goals, probably they shouldn't have, from us just having a lapse of concentration. Lot to work on for the Cats. I don't think you'd be throwing this season away too quickly because they're a class outfit. They came really hard in this last quarter. They'll bounce back. They just need some players back.
And every time I look at Carlton, I look at Michael Voss and, just think of what his status in the game is. His record at Brisbane, when you look at it, was a lot better than the reaction at the end. Obviously, it went a bit pear-shaped. But to go back to Port Adelaide for 6 or 7 years and just ply your trade and improve and get better, you've got to think that he's going to be a really strong coach second time
better for it. Absolutely. And I think it showed in his players tonight the fact that even I thought Lewis Young was beaten soundly by Jeremy Cameron. Jeremy Cameron's probably the best man on the ground, but when Lewis Young needed to stand up on a couple of occasions in that last quarter, he took a huge mark at centre-half back, which thwarted the movement going forward by the Cats. So everybody had their little moment tonight for the Blues, which is a really good sign in a tight contest.
And I think the Blues are certainly playing a little bit like how Michael Voss was. When you think in and around the contest, we were commenting on it last Thursday night, when they tackle now, they hit to really take some body as well. They're running in straight lines. They've certainly got tougher in and around that contest. It's brilliant to see.
What about the Cats? Reigning premiers had won 16 in a row and have now lost 2 in a row. It is early, so let's not panic.
I think we've sort of expected them almost to be ready right for the picking in the first couple of rounds. We understand that they've got a couple of players out there who are a little bit underdone. Just goes to show how even the competition is. When you have some of your best players not out there, we speak of Stewart, They have Henry, who plays a pivotal role in that side as well, in that system, that it makes it hard to win games of footy no matter how good you've been going. So for them, there's plenty of upside. They'll continue to get better as the season goes on. It's 2 losses. They've been in both of them. They could have won them. They could have been 2-0, but unfortunately for them, they're 0-2. They're a professional outfit. They'll review that. They'll move on. I still expect them to be there and well and truly in front of the ledger come the middle of the season.
Gold Coast at Gold Coast next week, Brownie. Then Hawthorn on Easter Monday. West Coast as part of Gather Round in round 5. So
there's 3 and 2.
You'd expect them to win those 3. And they've played good opposition. Collingwood were cherry ripe to come into round 1, and they blew them away after half time. So they're a good opposition. Carlton, from what you've seen the first 2 weeks, very competitive draw against Richmond. Now they've beaten the reigning premiers. You feel like Carlton are going to play finals football this year if they can play that level again. So Geelong have played 2 really good sides who have come in fit. Yes, there's some Geelong players underdone. They'll take their way to get into this season, but they'll be there.
And as Daisy said, they've got some quality cattle to come back as well.
Absolutely. I don't think they're going to be too nervous about it. Yes, they want to win last week. Yes, they want to win this week. But they know it's a long journey.
Choice Hotels around the grounds. Whatever your reason for travelling, you'll get the lowest price guaranteed when you book direct at choicehotels.com. So go ahead, book it, Two-Man.
Choice Hotels, yes. Big one tomorrow, Melbourne v Brisbane up at the Gabba. Of course, we've got the Friday night huddle as well.
Did you know that was coming?
No, I didn't. Was I convincing? With
Ramsey said it was such authority. Get to chew it, yeah.
We got there in the end, didn't we?
Mate, seamless. How do you reckon you went tonight, first game of the year?
Well, probably Das wouldn't be happy with my crowd prediction. Probably missed the bar. I reckon we broke even. I said early 50s, didn't I?
I think you said 50,000, Chew, and I think I might have been a bit closer than you, Chew.
If you had your time again with your initial stat that you said there was an absolute zinger, would you have gone with 1902 or would you have broken it down into like 100 and something years?
Yeah, I should have done that, shouldn't I?
Yeah, I think it makes it sound more impressive, 121 years.
Yeah, that's exactly
anyway,
right.
We'll
just got one stat for you. So
is it a zinger?
Yeah, this is a zinger because it's close to home. The last time a team won the flag when they were 0-2 at the start of the season was the Kangaroos back in 1999. So this is a good test for the Cats.
There you go. Let's get down into the Carlton rooms for Bob Jane Team Arts. Nat Unides is down there. Nat?
Oh, guys, as you can imagine, there's an absolute buzz down in the Carlton rooms at the moment. I'm joined by one of the men of the moment, Charlie Curnow. Charlie, congratulations on the win. There was a lot of talk during the week about not being able to get it done in the close games. Does that make this one that little bit more special?
Yeah, look, obviously last week, that last quarter, we didn't play footy the way we wanted to, and the last 2 minutes hurt, but we went into the start of the week here. Cripper and the leadership team, we went through some vision. We took out a lot from last week, and you know it's great to see some big plays by big boys standing up there, like Youngie taking that mark, big HR. He was electric. I think he can't drop a footy in the last 2 minutes of the game. I don't know what is going on, but he just can't drop him. It was just awesome. First win back with my brother Ed, and it's great to see his family here. So, mate, it's great vibes down here.
I was about to ask you about Ed because you kicked 5 goals, but Ed kicked 1, and you got pretty excited. Which did you enjoy more?
I still liked mine. Nah, you never said nah. It was great to see him kick 1. I don't know. It's been a long year for him last year. When you get older, a lot of doubt goes over you, and a lot of other people doubt you. So, you know, he wasn't picked to many teams coming into the season, and you know, he's just a hard worker, great older brother, great person to have around in my family. Obviously, he's my older brother. I'm just so happy to see him. You can see him right now. He's got Alice sitting on his lap, having a great time.
It's a
got out with friends, and Will kicking the footy around him. So.
Charlie, beautiful image that is, watching your older brother Ed and his family, and we just love seeing you healthy and out there. What a brilliant year last year, and you've had a fantastic start. Can you take us back, Charlie, with those consecutive knee injuries and the challenges that you had? Was there ever a time you thought, hey, maybe it's going to be too hard to come back at any stage?
Oh, yeah, you know, I could talk a lot about it. You know, obviously each day gets tougher, and a few different, you know, surgeons, a few different physios, and you know, I had a lot of tough times, but you know, I don't need to go into that right now. But had a lot of good people around me to get me here in the end, and had a great family support, great players at the club that looked after me, a lot of coaches along the way. So it's a lot of credit to a lot of other people.
Charles, Daisy Thomas up here, congratulations on your own performance. What was Vossi's message there at 3/4 time? He saw he get you in really nice and close. What did he say to you boys to get you across the line? Were you paying attention?
Yeah, I was, Daisy. You know me, I'm very, pay a lot of attention in those situations. I think he just fired us up a lot, and he wanted us to play tough contested footy, win the ground ball combo, and I'm not sure if we did, but I'm pretty sure the boys gave it their all, and it was a great little pep talk at 3/4 time.
Charlie, there was a lot of players who made mistakes tonight. It was a mistake-riddled game, but I thought one player who stood up and stood out was Blake Acres. I think his first 2 weeks have been fantastic. He dropped the mark late last week, but every time he touched it tonight, something good happened.
Yeah, I know. I was just about to touch on that last week. He was in the locker rooms. You know, he's a competitor because he was stewing on that all week, and well, not all week. He knew what he had to do, and you know, most players in that situation would probably go back in that last quarter and drop it again, and that just shows what a competitor is, to compose himself, take those marks at big moments. Wilbur. And it's credit to him.
It's getting back to talking about your brother. When he passed you that ball, then you went and kicked the goal, then you went back to him and jumped into him. Did you feel like you'd almost knocked him out with your shoulder?
Yeah, almost. I think we just got to be excited. We haven't been playing together for a while. I don't know.
Because he walked off holding his chin.
I think he actually chinned me. I don't know, if you look at the vision nice and closely, he got me back. So I was struggling to chew on a few lows at 3/4 time. So he got me back one.
Charlie, it's a great result for you and the boys. Well done tonight, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, lads. Cheers.
Charlie Curnow down in the Carlton rooms. That brings us to the Triple MVP Award for New Holland. End of financial year. Tractor sale is on now. Visit your New Holland dealership. Who's got the votes tonight, please?
Now, I'm going to be taking control of the votes, and I'm going to start with one of them to Blake Acres. 26 disposals, 81% efficiency, 485 metres gained, 5 intercept possessions and 4 clearances, getting it done everywhere. I thought he was brilliant in this one. 2 votes went to that man we just spoke to, Charlie Curnow, with his 5 goals, instrumental in that Blues win. And the best man on the ground, I thought, comfortably was Jeremy Cameron with his 6 goals, 25 disposals, 593 metres gained.
Jeremy Cameron gets the 3 votes in the Triple MVP Award, and that will see us out for the night. Duke, well done to you.
Good on you, Jack. Good fun.
Daisy, Brownie, great
you.
to have you. Two man, good to be back for 2023. You're in stellar form to start with. Well done to Nat, well done to Rabsy, to Jace, to all of our team here, and to Leroy back in the studio. Carlton, big winners tonight. 8 points. They square the ledger after last week's draw. We're back with the Friday Rub from 6 tomorrow night for McDonald's and Ream Hot Water. Triple M rocks footy.